From Setzler Field in Newberry, South Carolina, UNCP Braves football is live. Today, it's Dom Sampson and the 1-3 Braves facing off against Nick Jones in the 2-2 Wolves from Newberry College for Week 5 of the 2017 season. Good afternoon and welcome into the UNCP Sports Network. My name is Matt Sabatis, and I thank you so much for joining me on this lovely Saturday afternoon. The Braves coming into today's matchup, a 1-3 record. It's already a rough season that they need to turn around, coming off of last week's 31-10 loss to the Tusculum Pioneers. The team only had 95 yards as a whole on the ground. They committed 5 turnovers, and they were 2-10 on their third down conversions. It was an all-around rough Saturday just a week ago, and they look to turn things around here in Newberry. The Wolves, on the other hand, they are on a 2-game upswing after a 55-7 defeat of Virginia University Lynchburg and a 25-21 defeat over top of Carson Newman. Last week's game against Carson Newman was a fantastic offensive showing for the Wolves. Only 26 minutes was their offense on the field, but they were able to put up 25 offensive points while holding the Carson Newman offense to only 21 points in 35 minutes of possession. The average rush for the Wolves in last week's game against Carson Newman. 15 yards per. It is insane the amount of rushers that they have. At least 6 different rushers. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different rushers with at least 40 yards on the season, and 3 of them are listed as quarterbacks. It'll be a tough one for the Braves to see what they can do, because this season needs to be salvaged soon. The Braves 10-2 last season, 1-3 already in this young season. They need to turn things around, while Newberry is trying to defend their South Athletic Conference championship in 2017. They went 7-0 in the SAC last year. They made it to the NCAA playoffs, got bumped in the first round, while the Braves made it to the second round. But Newberry is looking to be a little bit more ahead of schedule when it comes to 2017. We've got a lot to talk about on the pregame show here at Setzler Field. We'll step aside when we come back, though. We have a sit-down with football head coach Shane Richardson. So keep it here on the UNCP Sports Network. And we're back with the pregame show here on the UNCP Sports Network. Joined now by head coach Shane Richardson. Coach, this is the first game of a month-long absence from Grace B. Johnson Stadium. How's your team feeling about that?
Yeah, I think it's exciting to actually go into other venues and other environments and kind of just see what they have and be a part of a different crowd and a different atmosphere and try to really bring some pride on the road and just make sure that we're doing everything possible to stick to our process no matter what the environment is. So it's exciting.
This has been a quality Wolves team, went undefeated in the South Atlantic last year. What have you been seeing from them?
Yeah, I think they're very talented. I think they give us some looks that will keep us on our toes, and they're a proven program and they've got history and tradition, and I think that goes a long way. And so we're definitely ready for a good matchup today.
Talking about Dom Sampson and an excellent showing on the ground last week against Tusculum. Are we going to see more of that today?
Well, if he gets in trouble and he needs to escape and avoid and try to stretch out the play, I think he certainly will have to do that. And so I think he's deceptively able to move decently, and so he's got to use that to his advantage and to our advantage on offense.
How about the receiving core? E.J. Williams, 5 yards shy of the 100-yard mark last week. We could see a lot more guys rallying around to put up numbers similar.
Absolutely. I think the more that Dom gets comfortable, that bodes well for all those receivers, and EJ and really a handful of guys around the receiving and running back groups, tight end groups as well. They all have opportunities to catch the ball, and I think all of them have the ability to make big plays for us.
Now back to the ground game. Newberry has multiple rushers that can really put the pedal to the metal. Not a single one of them, though, with over 100 yards on the season. They really spread it out. How's your defense going to react?
Yeah, I think we just need to stay sound in our gaps and make sure that we're doing our job with every call that we have, and make sure we're adjusting to into all their different looks and formations. And so we got to focus on making sure that we're in the right spot and then being able to play really, really fast and rally to the ball.
Well, thank you, Coach, for the time, and good luck today.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll give you the quarterback matchup and the players to watch in today's game. That's up next here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Back on the UNCP Sports Network, Matt Sabatis here with you as the Braves are just about 5 minutes away from kicking off against the Newberry Wolves here in Newberry, South Carolina for Week 5 of the 2017 season. Before we get you the results of the coin toss, let's run you through the starting lineups for both sides. For the Braves, from left to right on the front line offensively, Dylan Best, Jared Johnson, Timon McMillan, Cameron Hodges, and Gage Baldwin returning as the front five. Quay Threat, Jalen Nixon and JoJo Spann, the wide receivers, Miles Grant, the halfback, Robert Beecham, the fullback, and Dom Sampson, the redshirt freshman out of Cary, North Carolina, the usual starting quarterback. Defensively on the front line, Alpha Lamine, Cyrus Stomback, Nathan London, and T.Y. Hinton as Khalil Vance is getting the weekend off. The linebackers, Albert Wright, Chris Plotch, and Cameron Williams. The corners are Sean Everett and Trayvon Gibson, as the safeties are Bakembe Carney and Josh Mans. For the Wolves offensively on the front line from left to right, Tyler Anderson, Wade Rouse, Dakota Mozingo, Austin Turner, and Chris Morales. The tight end is Baptiste, goes by Baps Staggers. Bobby Irby is a wide receiver, along with Manny McCord, Markel Castle, and Keenan Lewis. Austin Barnes is the main running back, and Nick Jones, the sophomore out of Florence, South Carolina, is the QB. Defensively for the Wolves, the front line, Josh Parker, Darius Gillespie, Carrion Murphy, Keto Jordan from left to right. Will Elm is the outside linebacker. They run a 4-linebacker set, and Free Morfett is the inside linebacker alongside Joe Blue, and then Boo Williams is the other outside linebacker. The corners are Laquan White and Cardeem Hines, while the lone safety is Jawanza Adams, a junior out of Piedmont, South Carolina. And the players to watch in today's matchup offensively for the Braves, I'm going to point out E.J. Williams after his phenomenal week last week against Tusculum. 95 yards, had another touchdown under his belt. He's really poised to put together a quality senior campaign as long as Dom Sampson can find him more. Hopefully that can be the case in today's game. For the Newberry defense, Laquan White, the cornerback, the senior out of Ridgeville, South Carolina, only came into this season with 16 career tackles. Already this year, he has 10 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a pass breakup. No interceptions yet, but as we've said, Dom Sampson has thrown 5 interceptions in his last 2 games alone, so keep an eye out for him. Defensively for the Braves, watch out for Alpha Lamine. His numbers are a little slow to catch up to his 2016 numbers as they stand currently. 12 tackles, 3 for loss, and 2 sacks in the backfield. But the senior, a big chance to make an impact in today's game with the offensive line and the option offense that Newberry runs. Offensively for Newberry, the player to watch is Markel Castle. Not even a doubt about that. The reigning South Atlantic Conference Player of the Week with 6 receptions, 100 yards in last week's game, along with a touchdown against Carson Newman. The 5'10", 170-pound junior out of York, South Carolina, just a yard shy of 300 on the season. We'll take one more short break. When we come back, we've got kickoff coming your way right here on the UNCP Sports Network. Welcome back to Newberry, South Carolina, as we're just seconds away from kickoff between the Braves and the Wolves. Newberry won the coin toss, deferred to the second half, and the Braves elected to receive the opening kickoff. Newberry will be going from left to right in their home red jerseys, gray pants with the white helmet, the N on the side of the white helmet with the red stripe down the middle. It's Kevin Weber kicking from left to right, ball on the near hash of the 35. End over end, it's underway. Back to return is JoJo Spann, 1 foot deep in his own end zone. He's taking it out between the hash and the numbers, over to the number of the 20 and ripped down just across the 20 to the 21. Tackle made on the play by Darrell Foster, the sophomore out of Chester, South Carolina. And we are underway. Dom Sampson in the offense, out to take it from right to left here at Setzler Field. Braves in their road white jerseys, black numbering, UNC Pembroke above the number, black pants with the black helmet, Brave head on the side, the white and gold stripe across the center. Sampson in the shotgun. He's got Josh Sheridan to his left side, and the first one is a fake to him. The ball is handled in transition, and it's picked up off of an interception per se, but it's ending up in the end zone for a touchdown for Newberry. Incredible start to the game. Tyran Dixon, the defensive lineman from Columbia, South Carolina, got it on the mishandle as it was supposed to be given to JoJo Spann, but the two bumped into each other, Spann and Sampson, and it was picked up by Dixon, taken into the end zone. We are less than 3 seconds into the start of this game, and Newberry is about to strike at the end zone. They will mark him down at the 2.
On the field and off field.
Incredible turnaround. Not much can be said about that. The Braves defense not expecting to be out on the field here. But Nick Jones in the offense is here. Cartier Cook, the give on the run up center. He makes his way to about the 1, but the defensive line is able to hold him. Got to catch my breath on this one, folks. It caught me off guard. My apologies. Newberry going from left to right, trying to punch into the Braves side of the end zone. We're scoreless with 15 seconds gone here in this ball game. 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line for Newberry as they're resetting now. Cook, the running back, is set up to the right side of Jones in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers, lone on either side. They put the men's in motion. Smith, the tight end, now lined up to the left side. The give to Cook again, and Cook fights his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown. Braves defensive line couldn't put up the stops 2 times in a row, and after an unfortunate turnover, the 7th now for the Braves in the past 3 games, it's 6-0 with only 1 minute gone here in the first quarter.
Shea Rogers.
Out to attempt the PAT is Shea Rogers. He's 11 for 11 this season. The snapper is Perry Abel. The holder is Manny McCord. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up. And the kick is good. 7-0, the score already. We are only 56 seconds gone in this ball game. A 2-play, 3-yard drive capitalized by the turnover picked up by Newberry at the Braves' own 20-yard line. Their first play from scrimmage. Teams are going to have to try and reset after this one, and while they do, we'll reset over here. Let's take a break. We'll be right back here on the UNCP Sports Network. Back in Newberry, South Carolina, Matt Sabatis with you. It was an interception, the official call, not a fumble or fumble recovery. An interception by Tyran Dixon, nearly taken back for 6, brought down at the 3-yard line. And we're back underway with the kickoff. Kevin Weber, end over end, boots this one much deeper, 6 yards deep into the end zone where JoJo Spann picks it up and takes a knee for a touchback. So the Braves will have 1st and 10. To hopefully try and gain some yardage on what will technically be their second offensive series of the game. Out comes Sampson and Josh Sheridan once again, the offensive line, setting up on the near hash of the 25-yard line. JoJo Spann, a lone wide receiver on the near side, 2 receivers on the far side. And alongside Josh Sheridan, it looks like Miles Grant is out there as well. No, that's Brian Staten. The give is on the far side to Sheridan. He fights over to the far hash, but he's met in the backfield and dropped after a struggle for a loss of, I'd say, about 2. Carrion Murphy getting in on the tackle, but Cato Jordan was the first one to make contact. It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Braves after the loss. Back out onto the field now, swapping through a couple of receivers on the near side. It'll be JoJo Spann alongside E.J. Williams. Keep an eye out for Williams. He's lined up in the slot on the near hash. Ball lined up on the far hash, though. A 4-man front incoming from the defensive line. Sampson, a 3-step drop back on a chest-high pass, but he has to escape the pocket. He's keeping it himself while there's a couple of Wolves in pursuit. Hit by 3. He loses the ball, but JoJo Spann recovers as Sampson tried to do it all himself. He got bailed out by JoJo. The senior out of McDonough, Georgia, saves the day for the Braves and makes it 3rd and 4. 7-0 Braves trail. We're just a couple of minutes past here in this first quarter. Teams resetting now. Officials. A late flag coming after E.J. Williams making motion on that play. And they're saying illegal formation. So that play disqualified entirely, and the Braves will be dropped back 5 yards from the initial 2nd and 11. So it'll be 2nd and 16 from the Braves' own 19. Ball still on the far hash here at Setzler Field. A beautiful facility. Brand new turf on the field. The Newberry logo, the N with the wolf inside at midfield, stretching from the 43 to the 43 on either side. Red end zones, Newberry in one, Wolves in the other. A facility that has been around for ages. Sampson takes a waist-high snap, picks it up, pumps once, and goes on the delayed give to Josh Sheridan, and he is moving his feet. He fights up to the near side, hash mark of the 35-yard line, a gain of 10 as he splits one more defender before he's finally pulled down. Tackle on the play made by Will Elm, the senior out of Irmo, South Carolina, one of the 4 linebackers that this team employs. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Braves. They need to get to their own 35. Ball on the near hash. Josh Sheridan lined up with Dom Sampson in the shotgun. 3 receivers on the far, 1 on the near. JoJo Spann is all by himself. Face-eye snap, no drop back for Sampson. He pumps 3 times and tries to take it himself on a delayed QB draw. He got some yardage, but did he get enough before the defensive line crashed down on him? Let's see what the head official has to say about this one. They will move the chains. Tackle on the play made by Tyran Dixon, the sophomore who made that interception on the first play from scrimmage. But it's 1st and 10 for the Braves.
First down. The University of North.
This is a defense that has put together a lot of great work. The last time these two teams met in 2014, the eventual game-winning touchdown came on an 87-yard pick six. The defensive score was the biggest of the game. This one, a jet sweep given on the near side, looks like to E.J. Williams. As a matter of fact, no, it was not given to Williams. It was given to Quadron Williams, so the other Williams, my bad. He fights over to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 before he's brought down. Tackle on the play made by Troy Cunningham, the linebacker out of Lancaster, South Carolina. It's 2nd and 9. Trading one Williams for another, but now they go 5 wide on this play. Braves looking to go downfield. Sampson chest high, 2-step drop back, and he quickly fires to Corey West. It's incomplete. Tried to hook backwards with it, but West was just a little too slow to pull it in. That's an incompletion. Brings up 3rd and 9 for the Braves.
3rd down and long. Get behind this Wolves defense.
This Wolves defense, a quality passing team. They have not allowed a 200-yard passer or a 100-yard receiver in a full calendar year, a total of 14 games spanning the playoffs and last regular season. Here's Sampson again on this 3rd and 9. Time in the pocket. He fires for Williams. Hit as he makes the reception, and it bounces out of his hands. Incomplete. Tackle on the play contributed from Will Elm, but made by Joe Blue, the junior linebacker out of Dillon, South Carolina. An unfortunate turn for the Braves as they had an opportunity to convert a 3rd down, but they couldn't bring it away. That's the first 3rd down conversion they failed. They were 2 for 10 last week against Tusculum, and out comes Isaac Parks to punt this one away. Brentley Allen back to return. Only 2 actual returns this year. He might not be taking this one. A beautiful spiral, but Allen takes it on a backtrack. He's still going backwards, and he's brought down as a flag comes in at his own 11-yard line. Allen was initially lined up at his own 25, and he kept going back and back and back before the Braves brought him down. It was Alpha Lamine making the tackle, but we have to see what this flag is. Jake Razik, our head referee, conversing with his officiating crew. Let's see what he has to say.
Starting the return, block in the back, number 38, Newberry. After distance of the goal, 1st down.
That's on Giovanni Neal, the defensive back, sophomore out of Winsboro, South Carolina. And that's even more good news for the Braves. They've been one of the cleaner teams this season when it comes to overall penalties. Only 7 per game for a total of average 60 yards per penalties-wise. While Newberry, similarly, a lot cleaner. Only 6 penalties on average per game, 60 yards average penalties-wise. Here's Jones again, give on the near side to Cook. He fights through on about a 3-yard gain. He fights through and falls down for maybe 4 more. Austin Barnes cycling through. He's on his way in now. One of the main running backs on this team, leads the Wolves in touchdowns this year. Only 17 carries coming into this game, however. 7-0 Braves trail, 11 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Jones calls a flag. Most likely false start as they whistle the play dead. And we're going to have a conversation at the flag marker on the near hash of the 13-yard line. Here's our head referee again, Jake Razik. Yes.
Number 68, 5 yards, 1st down.
That's on Dylan Bouchamp, the second-string right guard, brought in today's game as a late scratch. So after the gain from Austin Barnes, that drops the Wolves back 5, makes it 2nd and 7 now, make it 2nd and 8. Jones shaded by his own end zone. He calls for it, has it. The option gives on the near side again to Barnes, and a hard hit from Chris Plotch brings him down after a gain of only about 4 up the middle. Plotch doing an excellent job in his 2017 campaign after only making 17 tackles last year, but being named a captain, he's really come into his own. Braves cycling through a large portion of their defensive line. They're brought down fast and they jump off sides. They're saying this is a free play, and Jones goes downfield with it, nearly intercepted by Josh Manns. but it was
Laundry on the field.
much too an open space for anyone to really make a play at it. This should be 5 free yards for the Wolves either way. Looks like both sides on the left side were making a jump at it, but the Braves were probably the first to commit. Let's hear what our head referee has to say.
Offside. Defense. Number 92, 5 yards, still third down.
So as he said, still third down, but it will be 3rd and 1 now instead of 3rd and 6 after the run from Austin Barnes. Wolves in the huddle. Braves have swapped through their defensive line once again, and the Wolves snap to the line fast. Jones calls for it, puts 2 men in motion. That's Smith and his running back Barnes. Chest high snap. Jones keeps it himself. Hit at the line of scrimmage. He's brought down. Cyrus Stonback, the junior, with the big stop. That should bring up 4th down.
Tap is made by Cyrus Stonback and Christopher Fox.
Newberry looking to the sidelines. The coaches are waving them in, and they're bringing out the punting unit. Braves a big 3rd down stop. They needed that. 3rd down conversions have not been their specialty these past few weeks. 30% other teams are shooting this year. But on 4th down, luckily Newberry not going for it in their own territory. Braves are only 3 for 8 on allowing for 4th downs. Punting it away is Shea Rogers. JoJo Spann returning, signals fair catch just inside his own territory and picked up at the 47-yard line. We'll swap sides now, and we'll get the Braves back out on offense. Folks, a word from our sponsors. Ever wonder why Lumberton Chevy Buick Cadillac GMC has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevys, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUV trucks. Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They are located next to Lumberton High School. That's Lumberton Chevy Buick Cadillac and GMC. Sampson back out in the gun. He's got Miles Grant to his backside. Chest high snap, given the near side with a spin to Grant over to the hash, and he's met about a yard past the line of scrimmage. Can't get much more after the fact before he's finally brought down by a trio of defenders. Tackle made by Stan Davis, the senior defensive end out of Winsboro, and it's 2nd down. Make it about 8 to go, just a yard shy of midfield below the N of the Newberry logo on the near hash. Braves need to respond after trailing 7-0, throwing an interception technically on a botched handoff from Dom Sampson to the near side of E.J. Williams. Newberry was able to recover the ball, take it down to the 3-yard line, and punch it in 2 plays later. Sampson on this 2nd down play, trying to find JoJo Grant. Can't find him on the near side past the 40-yard line as Grant took 1 step too far and wasn't able to backtrack in time. It's 3rd and 8 for the Braves, still a yard shy of midfield.
Make some noise for this Wolves defense.
Braves cycling through receivers once again. Navante Gamble, the halfback, making one of his first appearances this season. Played on an earlier series, didn't get much, but he's extra pass protection as going downfield is Sampson. And a lot of contact between E.J. Williams and the defensive back for Newberry. Tevin Williams, the outside linebacker. Flags come in, and this should be 15 yards and a free 1st down for the Braves. Officiating crew having a conversation near the flags on the far hash of the 40-yard line, and here's our head referee, Jake Razik.
Pass interference on the defense, number 33. It's a spot foul, results in a 1st down.
So since the pass was not more than 15 yards, it's a spot foul. Either way, the Braves pick up the 1st down. 7-0 Braves trail, about 9 minutes left to go here in this first quarter of play. On the road for game 1 of 3, a 3-game road set for the Braves. They visit Newberry, wing it, have a week off, and then at Concord. Sampson rolls out on a chest-high pass and goes deep downfield for Spann. Tipped out of the defender's hands, into the hands of Spann, into the end zone. Touchdown, Braves. Kareem Hines had a route on it. Spann was 5 yards ahead up midfield, Similar to the Elizabeth City State game, in which it bounced off of the hands of the Braves defense and into the hands of Elizabeth City. The Braves got one going their way. It's 7-6 now, as it'll be Alex Avardo in to attempt the PAT. The snapper is Alex Richardson. The holder is Austin Foley. He's ready. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up, off the right upright, and no good. There was pressure coming in from the right side. It seemed to be as though Richardson might have gotten a little queasy in his boots there while holding that one, or Foley, mind you, holding that one. And the Braves were not able to tie the game. Either way, a 3-play, 53-yard drive capped off by a 40-yard pass to JoJo Spann. Braves now trail by a single point. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we've got more first quarter action right here on the UNCP Sports Network. Back on the UNCP Sports Network, Braves trail 7-6. 8.5 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. Matt Sabatis with you. I thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. We're here in Newberry, South Carolina, a very scenic campus here in Newberry College. This field, built in 1922, one of the oldest, still continuous stadiums in South Carolina college football. Recently upgraded with an all-turf field. Same turf, apparently, used by the Indianapolis Colts. That was a fun little fact that they shared with me when I got here. Nate Williams set to kick it off from right to left for the Braves. Back to return are Chance Walker and Keenan Lewis. It's a low one. Laser picked up at the 18 by Newberry. Taking it on the near hash. A hole found and a Braves tackle. Beautiful play along the hash by James Martin, the defensive back, as Ramik Smith made an attempt to return that one, but had no chance. It'll be 1st and 10 on a decent return with some good field position for Newberry, setting up after what looks to be a penalty. Where are they going to signal this one?
29 yards on the return, out to the 45-yard line.
Looks like he fell forward for a while, as a matter of fact, so they're saying it's at the 45. Field position has always been one of the more weak spots for the Braves return units, especially in last week's game against Tusculum. Here's the option, and Jones takes it himself over to the far side. The Braves defense there to make the stop. Tackle on the play made for the Braves, that time by Albert Wright, the linebacker. It'll be 2nd and probably still 10 yards to go at the Newberry 45. Last game against Tusculum, when I talk about field position though, of the 14 drives that Tusculum had, 8 of the 14 drives, that's over half of them, started in Braves territory rather than Tusculum territory. It was an unfortunate start for Braves special teams and for the offense in general. Jones, an empty backfield on this 2nd and 10. Low snap, he picks it up and drops back 3 steps. It's a screen up the middle, picked up across midfield. Splitting a defender, taking it across to the 35 as Bapp staggers the tight end, and he gets pushed out of bounds across midfield to the 37-yard line in Braves territory. Staggers a tall drink of water, 6'4", 230 pounds, the senior. Preseason all-conference first team. He's putting together an excellent senior season so far. 11 receptions for 60 yards with 2 touchdowns. They could look to go for him again on this play, as Jones on this 1st and 10 in the Braves 37 as an empty backfield. Staggers on the near side, lined up with the offensive line. 4-man front incoming from the Braves. A man in motion, that's Markel Castle. This one, faking the jet sweep, taking it himself is Jones, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, brought down after a gain of 2. Braves defensive line sniffed that one out quickly. Tackle on the play made by Lucas Brim.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
Braves trail by 1 here. Newberry at the Braves 35, delayed snap count, and the Braves don't fall. Jones looks to the sideline for a new play. Bapp staggers, backs up a couple of feet, still on the right side in an empty backfield for Jones. Putting a man in motion, that's his receiver, faking the jet sweep once again from the slot, and Jones has an opening. The Braves block this time to the 10, the 5, touchdown. They tried it again the opposite way, and the Braves fell for it. 35-yard touchdown run from Nick Jones, his first rushing touchdown this season to go with his 5 passing touchdowns, and it's 13-6 in favor of Newberry. Out comes Shea Rogers once again to attempt the PAT. 1 for 1 today, 12 for 12 on the season. The snapper is Perry Abel, the holder is Manny McCord. McCord ready. The snap is back, the ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 14-6 Braves trail with 6:19 left to go here in this first quarter. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we've got more first quarter action right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Greenwood Highway, Saluda, or online too at...
Back into Setzler Field in Newberry, South Carolina. Matt Sabatis here with you. It was a 35-yard touchdown run by Nick Jones, capping off a 4-play, 55-yard scoring drive from Newberry, spanning only 1 minute and 57 seconds. The first real drive their offense has picked up today after the punt on the 3-and-out and after the 3-yard drive to start the play following the interception forced by their defense. End over end is the kick from Kevin Weber. It's a little short, picked up by JoJo Spann at his own 1 line on the near hash, and he tries to split through 2 defenders. He's hammered and brought down after only a return of 17 yards. Newberry was there to eat that one up. Darrell Foster, the tackle, on the return for the Wolves. Braves will have 1st and 10 at their own 18. A Brave is down on the field. It's Navante Gamble, the halfback out of Greenville, North Carolina, and the athletic trainers are headed out to attend to him. He's not really in too much pain, it seems, as he's rolling around on his own power. And they're looking at his lower body now. They're keeping him stable and trying to see what's wrong. The Newberry athletic trainers are coming out to assist as well. While they look at him, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we've got the first quarter wrapping up with 6:19 left to go in it right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Was on the return.
You hear the clapping as Navante Gamble is helped off the field. Looks to be he's keeping weight off of his right foot, but we can't really give you too much information right now. Braves trail 14-6 with 6:14 left to go here in the first quarter from Setzler Field in Newberry, South Carolina. It's the Braves offense back out on the field after the most recent scoring drive spanning 4 plays and 55 yards from Newberry. Sampson claps and looks on the near side to give it away, but instead goes on a bubble to Robert Beecham. He has him at the 20, and Beecham fights forward across the 25 to the 37 on top of the number before he's finally brought down. Tackle on the play made by Newberry, number 4, Will Elm, one of the inside linebackers, or outside linebackers, I should say. A fantastic player. 46 tackles last year, named to the all-conference preseason team. It's second down for the Braves. Officials are actually, as a matter of fact, moving the chains on this one. They gave Beecham a couple of extra yards after the fact, say his knee didn't take down until after he bounced off of one of the defenders. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Braves at their own 29. Sampson in a collapsing pocket tries to escape, but trips over one of the defenders. Make it 55. Cato Jordan, one of the sophomores on this defensive line. A young guy, but has a lot of talent in him. They'll say it is a loss of 3 for the Braves as Sampson tried to evade. They're setting back up now, and I think the Braves will try and take a little bit extra time. Swapping out a couple of defensive men are Newberry, and Robert Beecham is back out onto the field for the Braves. The Braves have taken Shamon Hicks out of this play. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far. Sampson in the backfield. Claps, has it, chest high, fakes the give, and goes downfield with it. Picked up on the far sideline by JoJo Grant, and he gets 8 yards with it before he's tapped out of bounds on a pretty big gain. Tackle on the play, helped by Laquan White. Kardeem Hines, the main perpetrator of that one. They'll say it's about a 6-yard gain for the Braves. They need to get to their own 38-yard line on this 3rd down play. Braves trail by 8 with 6:14 left to go here in the first quarter. They pick the clock back up now, and Robert Beecham goes in motion from the near side to the far. It's a high snap as Sampson nearly struggles to pull it in, goes to the near side with E.J. Williams. Does he haul it in at the 40? Would be good for the first down. As he went down with it, he got it. Took a couple of seconds for the head linesman Greg McDonald to make the call, but he says it's Williams' ball. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Braves, just outside their own 40-yard line. They've got to move another 10 to try and get to midfield. Cycling through a couple more receivers, they put E.J. Williams as a lone on the near side, or no, they bring JoJo Grant back over and set up Williams as the slot. Miles Grant, the running back, alongside Sampson in the shotgun. They put Grant in motion on a bubble, but instead going downfield with it. Sampson is not able to make a completion on the far side to Jalen Nixon, the sophomore out of Durham, Carolina. Could have had his 3rd reception of the year, but the Braves just aren't really finding the proper receivers at this point. Sampson 5 for 10, 67 yards. Does have the passing touchdown to JoJo Span, but the interception on the opening play of the game. 2nd and 10 for the Braves at the 40-yard line. 4-man front incoming from Newberry. Only 2 linebackers showing as they send one out to be the nickel. That's Will Elm. Grant to the near side has the shotgun back. The give is to him on the sweep. He falls into a couple of extra defenders, including Will Elm. Tackle made as well by Fabian Jefferson, the senior out of Florence, South Carolina. Only a gain of about 2 for the Braves. They need a big 3rd down conversion here, and that's something they haven't gotten much of this season. After converting 41% of their 3rd downs in 2016, the Braves have taken a steep drop-off. 25.5% of their 3rd downs have turned into 1st downs this season. Only 2 for 10 last week against Tusculum. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far, and then it's 3rd and 8. Face-high snap as Sampson gets the ball batted out of his hands as it's in the air, nearly picked off as the Newberry Wolves saw the opportunity, but Boo Williams couldn't make the play. Either way, the punting unit, along with Isaac Parks, will have to make their way out onto the field. 4th and 8 in their own territory, even in an 8-point game. This isn't one the Braves would be known to go for. Back to return for the Wolves. Brentley Allen, the sophomore out of Lexington, South Carolina, had a loss on a return of 7 his first time out, and he'll try again. Set up on the near side of the 20-yard line on the hash, and this one a much shorter punt. Bounces first at the 29-yard line before the Braves down it at the 28. Cameron Williams is there in time. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolves at their own 28-yard line. Braves cycling through, as are the Wolves. Braves trail by 8. Folks, a word from our sponsors. Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 WUNC Pembroke's varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry, and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all of their support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for our student athletes. Nick Jones and crew back out onto the field. 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line. Make it. They need to get to their own 39. In the shotgun, low snap as Jones looks to pass. Pocket collapsing. It's a quick screen on the near side, picked up by his receiver. Or rather, that's the fullback, Austin Barnes, and he takes it on the screen for a gain of about 4 yards before the Braves take him down. Trayvon Gibson, the corner, making the play, his 18th tackle of the season. Chris Plotch, the only dual tackler in this game so far. He has 3, while a multitude of other Braves, make it 11, have recorded at least 1. That's been it. No tackles in the backfield, no sacks today for the Braves defense. 4-man front incoming from the Braves. Cook, the running back on this play. And it's a give to him on the near side. This is a big man who can power through. Make that Austin Barnes, rather, my mistake. Barnes can really shove his way through a defensive line, and he does so on this play, picking up another gain of 6 yards while he fights through. Tackled on the play by Nathan London, and it'll be a gain good enough for a first down.
Before we move the chains and pick up our Wolves, first down.
Wolves looking over to the sideline for a new play call. 3:28 left to go here in this first quarter. 14-6. Braves trail. Four-man front incoming from the Braves. While Sean Everett, the corner, is set to rush as well. The near side is empty of receivers. This one, a give on the option to Barnes. He takes it for a gain of about 5 to the 45. And he came down around the 44. Ball placed at the 45. Defensive line had to carry him a little. T.Y. Hinton, the tackle for UNCP. 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4 for the Braves. They need to make a big stop here, the Braves. Wolves are converting their downs very quickly, especially with Barnes. Big man on the field, 6'2", 245. Only a sophomore out of Central South Carolina. Barnes in motion, just sets up on the near side instead of the far side in the shotgun alongside Jones. Jones claps, chest high. On the option, again, a give to Barnes. Up the middle, and Barnes powers through. That's a man who knows how to keep those legs moving, gets up 3 yards. Should not be enough for the first down, depends on the officials. The sideline judge came in a yard shy of the first down marker, and they will say third down. This is a team, Newberry, that really runs the option well just from watching their footage in the games prior to this Week 5 matchup. And Nick Jones, while the team's leading rusher this season, still has a lot of big options, and Austin Barnes is doing it. Braves stuffing the box on this play. Bapp staggers in motion, the option, give on the near side, again to Barnes, fighting through the defensive line. Does he have the first down? Braves there in time to try and make the stop. Khalil Vance getting there, but did the Braves make the stop? Barnes helped up now. Officials looking to spot the ball. They might bring out the chains on this one.
Penalty markers on the field.
Barnes made it to the 49. There's a flag. I see, the side judge.
Defense, number 38. 5 yards, play results in the first down.
The side judge on the near side had dropped a flag, didn't throw it very far, kept it out of my viewpoint. Apologies, a very low press box here at Setzler Field. So the 5 yards on the free play gives a first down back to Newberry. The Braves were benefited a penalty first down earlier in this game, and they gave it right back. Barnes out of the field as the running back. It's Cook now. On the near side in the shotgun with Jones. 2 receivers on either side. Low snap, faking the give on the option. Jones takes it himself. Tackled from behind, brought down. An excellent pursuit from Donovan Wirt, the freshman red shirt out of Rayford, North Carolina. Beautiful play, brings up second down on a gain of 4. Closing minutes of this first quarter, Braves trail by 8.
42-yard line. That'll bring up second down.
But the Wolves have continued to fight. New running back in the game after Cook takes off, Chance Walker, the redshirt freshman out of Gaston, South Carolina. And we've got whistles.
And that's the end of the first quarter. Your score, Newberry.
And that's the end of the first quarter. Clock on your screen a little slow, and hopefully we can catch up in the second quarter. We'll be right back in just a few seconds right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Walker and Morgan located on Main Street, downtown Lexington, South Carolina.
Back at Setzler Field in Newberry, South Carolina, Matt Sabatis here with you for UNCP Braves football. Your Braves trail 14-6 after the first quarter has expired. A bit of an unfortunate situation for us up here in the press box is that a tree is covering our vantage point of the scoreboard. I unfortunately can't see an entire thing. So what we're flying with here in the press box is what you're seeing on your screen. Jones, again on the near side, or rather, this is Greg Ruff, the backup quarterback. He takes off on the near side, a quarterback sweep, and he picks up 15 yards before the Braves shove him out of bounds. Colton Weeks, the tackle for UNCP. This was the fear of Shane Richardson coming into this game. 3 different quarterbacks with positive yardage on the ground already this season. Jones, the leading rusher of all players on this team. Greg Ruff, the redshirt freshman, had 71 rushing yards coming into today, and then Sumner Cooler, a rushing touchdown as well. It's Ruff again. A much smaller man, the redshirt freshman. He's under center, puts his tight ends in motion, now as Bap Staggers set up for himself. A jet sweep on the near side to Markel Castle. This is his bread and butter as the Braves swarm on a gain of about 6 to the near side. Castle tried to keep his legs moving, but Josh Manns was able to drag him down, making a gain of about 6 on the first down to bring up 2nd and 4 at the 25. Braves trail by 8 here in the second quarter, about a minute gone. As Ruff settles back in now, Sean Smith, one tight end, Bap Staggers the other, lined up as a slot receiver on the near side. Staggers in motion, faking the jet sweep, keeping it as Ruff fights through Colton Weeks, but Weeks read it out immediately, making a gain of about 1 on a great saving play by the redshirt freshman linebacker.
Tackle made by Colton Weeks.
Braves setting back up in a 4-man front as Ruff is staying out as the quarterback on this play, but they bring in Austin Barnes, the big man fullback, to potentially maybe provide a little extra pass blocking on this 3rd and 2 play. They look to the sidelines now for a new play call. Bap Staggers lined up as the tight end on the near side, and the shotgun is Barnes to the left of his quarterback Ruff. Ruff claps, has it waist high. The give to Barnes on the near side. Fights through Chris Plotch. He's brought down. No, he's still on his feet. Trying to get past the corner. A beautiful block and a touchdown for Newberry. Bobby Irby, the wide receiver, making the fantastic block that brought that play together. And it's 20-6 in favor of Newberry. The Braves are quickly in a hole. Out comes Shea Rogers to attempt the PAT, 2 for 2 on the day, 13 for 13 on the season. The long snapper is Perry Abel, the holder is Manny McCord. The snap is back, the ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 21-6, Newberry has taken the lead.
In the second quarter, and Newberry
making on a 23-yard touchdown run from Austin Barnes to cap off a 9-play, 71-yard drive spanning 5 minutes and 19 seconds. Braves will try to come back as they trail 21-6. We'll see how they fare when we return right here on the UNCP Sports Network. Welcome back to the UNCP Sports Network. Matt Sabatis here with you, and the Braves now going from left to right on your radio dial will look to try and come back from a 21-6 deficit. Kicking it from right to left, Kevin Weber, end over end, gets it a far and heavy boot. But Trayvon Gibson picks it up, fumbles it at the 10-yard line, re-hauls it in before he's tackled immediately by the Newberry Wolves is Giovanni Neal. Special teams for the Braves has taken a nosedive in the past 2 games. 2 fumbles on returns, both by JoJo Spann. The opening kickoff against Tusculum, and then a late punt in the 4th quarter. Both fumbled by Spann, recovered by the Pioneers, and that near turnover by Trayvon Gibson could have been a death sentence for the Braves already early on in this second quarter. 21-6 they trail, and we already see a substitution. Connor Stowe, the second-string quarterback, is in the game with an empty backfield. Quickly spins it out on the far side. A pass to E.J. Williams is complete, as that man knows how to move his legs across to the 20 and pull down at the 24, keeping the play going at least 4 seconds after an initial contact to make it a gain of 9. 2nd and 1 for the Braves. Are they going to move the chains? They will.
First down for the Braves.
That's a man that knows how to run. Stowe still out in this one. They bring out Robert Beecham, the fullback, maybe to provide a little extra pass blocking, but Josh Sheridan also out on the field. Maybe we'll see a give to him. On the near side is E.J. Williams as the slot receiver alongside JoJo Grant. This one a give to Sheridan. He fights through for a gain of about 4, falls down for an extra yard after fighting the defensive line. And it'll bring up 2nd down. Tackle on the play made by number 99, Jamarcus Henderson, big junior out of Union, South Carolina, coming off of a fantastic 2016 campaign. 65 tackles, 22 tackles in the backfield when he was a sophomore. Braves have 2nd and 5 now at their own 29-yard line. Stowe with Sheridan to his backside. Face-eye snap, the give to Stowe on the near side. He stutter steps a little, maybe a mistake. After trying to go off the near side tackle, he only picks up a gain of about 1 before he's brought down by Jawanza Adams, the cornerback, and alongside with Laquan White and Fernie Moffitt. 3rd and 4 for the Braves at the 30-yard line. They trail 21-6, about 5 minutes gone here in this second quarter. On the near side, it'll be JoJo Spann and E.J. Williams. Williams the slot on the far side. It's JoJo Grant all by himself. Stowe in the shotgun. Has it with a 3-step drop back. Looks to the near side through his progressions, and he's taking it himself as the pocket collapses. Goes head on with a defender and picks up the first down. That's a man who knows how to run. Joe Blue tried to make the tackle. Stowe tucked the shoulder, fought through, and picked up an extra set of yards.
For the University of North Carolina at Pembroke.
Braves still trail 21-6 here in the second quarter. Make it 1st and 10 at their own 35. Got to get to the 45 now. Quay Threat out as wide receiver once again. E.J. Williams is a slot alongside Threat on the near side as JoJo Spann lines up alone on the far. A 4-man front incoming from Newberry. As Josh Sheridan is the running back in this shotgun formation. Stowe wasn't expecting it. The center snapped it into his face, and Stowe falls on it just in time. The Braves will take a 4-yard loss on that play, and they might have to be a little thankful for that one, that wasn't a turnover. 2nd and 14 after the loss. Now, is that on Timon McMillan or is that on Connor Stowe? Questions we'll just have to continue asking. Shamon Hicks coming out as wide receiver now. Triplets on the near side. It's Hicks, E.J. Williams, and Quay Threat. JoJo Spann alone on the far. Threat in motion. To the near side. The give instead to Sheridan. He gets to the line of scrimmage and picks up a yard more, but that's all he's going to get. Fernie Moffitt, the linebacker, with the tackle. A late flag. Very late from the back judge. About 3 seconds after the play had finished. Moving in to talk to our head referee, Jake Rosinski.
On the carry tackle made by Anthony Moffitt. There's a little bit of laundry on the field.
They're talking it over between the hash marks at the 35-yard line.
I think they hit us. They're pointing.
And it looks like this could be going against Newberry.
Dead ball. Personal foul. On the defense, number 17. 15 yards. Play results in a 1st down.
So heard it from our head referee, Jake Razik. Dead ball personal foul. Contact after the play. That's why the back judge threw the flag so late.
50-yard line, 1st down and 10 for the Braves.
And from the 35-yard line, the Braves are gifted one. Jawanza Adams, the perpetrator on that one. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Braves directly at midfield between the hash marks on top of the red N with the Wolf logo. So, in the gun with Miles Grant. 3 yards behind him. The give is to Grant on the near side. He's met at the line of scrimmage. A beautiful play and tackle from Fernie Moffitt, the senior out of Phoenix City, Alabama.
Tackle made by Anthony Moffitt.
Chalk it up as a loss of 1 on that play. The Braves can't catch a break when it comes to overall rushing in the past few days. 12 carries so far today, 26 yards total, and 22 of those yards have come from Josh Sheridan. Sheridan not on the field for this one. It's Miles Grant on the near side, while Connor Stowe is in the shotgun. Chest high, he's looking to the left side with a three-step drop back to pass. Going over top, caught by Quay Thread at the 40, and he steps out of bounds a yard past the chains to pick up a first down.
Forced out of bounds by Jawanza Adams.
Braves will move the chains once again as they trail 21-16. This could be a crucial drive when it's all said and done. Robert Beecham back out onto the field as Shamon Hicks heads to the sidelines. Two receivers on the near side, E.J. Williams and Quay Threat, while JoJo Spann sits on the far. Beecham, the tight end, on the near. And the give is to Miles Grant. Charges through about a trio of defenders. Falls down after a gain of 4, I'd like to say, on that one. Tackling the play made by Tanner Adair, the senior defensive end out of Laurel, South Carolina.
And Jamarcus Henderson. Gain of 3, second down and 7.
Braves taking their time now. They know they've got time to kill. 20 seconds on this play clock. It hasn't been much of a factor throughout this game, throughout much of this season, to say the least. Full coverage in the gun now for Stowe. Chest high, the give to Beecham. Has an opening in the offensive line, but immediately tapped down. Joe Blue read that play like an open book. The preseason all-conference first-teamer out of Dillon, South Carolina. Blue made the tackle after a gain of only about 1. Beecham has the power, hasn't really been utilized as a rusher this year. He does have 1 reception for 4 yards, but that's been about it. This will be a crucial third down for the Braves. 6 yards to go, and it's an empty backfield for Stowe.
Maybe sideways, maybe sideways.
He claps, has it, a 3-step drop back, a little time in the pocket, but has to escape as Devin Dexter gets to him. Takes it to the far side and flies to the chains. Does he have the first down across the 30? Our officials will take a look at it. He's pushed out of bounds, and he got the chains. First down for Connor Stowe, one of the biggest rushes of his young career, the redshirt freshman out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and it's 1st and 10 for the Braves on the gain of 9.
First down, UNCP.
Shamon Hicks back out onto the field as a wide receiver for UNCP. Connor Stowe and Miles Grant will line up in the shotgun. JoJo Spann is the lone receiver on the far side. It's Threat, Hicks, Williams on the near. Stowe looks to the near side, but instead takes it himself. Didn't get much time over there. Brought down in the backfield as he tries to escape. Keto Jordan with his 4th sack of the season, 2nd today.
Jordan. Second down.
Newberry has gotten into the backfield an ample amount of times already. 2 pass breakups, the 1 interception that was a broken up play in the backfield on the first play of the game. 6 total stops in the backfield, 4 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks total. 2nd and 15, a delayed draw on this one. Miles Grant, the give. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage on a gain of about 6 before he's finally brought down. Robert Beecham, his helmet pulled off. He'll have to sit out this next play.
Chase Austin and Boo Williams combine to make the tackle.
Braves will need to convert yet another big third down. Connor Stowe had a fantastic run on the last 3rd and 9 to pick up a new set for them. But on this 3rd and 10 at the Newberry 28, the Braves could really use this one down by 18, or down by 15 rather. 6 minutes left to go here in this one. Pitch out after a fake given to Shamon Hicks, or rather Jalen Quadron Williams, my bad. Williams fights ahead. Did he get the first on a gain of about 9?
In on that tackle.
Does not seem to be. It'll bring up 4th and 1.
4th down for the Braves.
This is a questionable time for the Braves. They trail by 15. They're well within the range of field goal kicker Alex Avardo, but they're inside the red zone. This is something they want to try for. The Braves are 100% in the red zone this season. 12 trips, 12 scores, 9 touchdowns, and this is a broken play. Stowe went the wrong way with it as Grant went to his left. Stowe pivoted to the right, and he's tackled in the backfield. It's a turnover on downs. Will Elm the stop, his 4th tackle for loss this season.
And 10.
And the Braves give it up on a crucial 4th down. As I've said, folks, about 5 minutes left to go here in this first half. The clock on your screen, unfortunately, not updating. And from up here in the press box, we have a tree obstructing our view of the entire scoreboard. So both you and I are flying blind. Oh, well, there you go. 5:25 left to go. We swap sides once again. Nick Jones is finally back out on the field after Greg Ruff's fantastic series just one set ago. Jones, time in the backfield as he steps away. A flag comes in. Could be a holding as Jones throws it away. Chris Plotch covering on the near side of Sean Smith.
Penalty markers on the field.
You'd have to think holding after the ample amount of time Jones had in the backfield and the pressure that the Braves put on.
Number 79, 10 yards. Still first down.
That's exactly what it is. Wade Rouse, the left guard, being tacked for that penalty. So send Newberry back a decent chunk of change. It'll be 1st and 20 now
10-yard penalty makes it first
at their
down.
own 14. Make it 13. Sean Smith, the tight end for Nick Jones. Jones is in the backfield empty. Claps for it. Doesn't get it. Braves nearly jump, but they weren't ready to really pass rush on that one. Alful Amin and Khalil Vance held off as the Wolves look to the sideline for a new play call. Jones makes 3 more steps back, and he's ready to go. Claps for it. Waist high. Has it. Looks to the right side. Time in the pocket. He's hit. He's brought down. T.Y. Hinton, his 3rd sack of the season. And the Braves have brought the Wolves back to the edge of their own end zone.
Say 6-handed quarterback, 6-handed quarterback. 21 personnel still technically.
Jones has taken himself off the field, it seems. Greg Ruff is back in. After a phenomenal drive earlier, going 1 for 1 on passing with 6 yards and 34 yards, or rather 13 yards on 2 carries on the ground. The Wolves have elected to bring him back in, and head coach Todd Knight wants to see what he can do, and he's doing it here. A flag comes in as off the near side tackle, Ruff takes it. He picks up about 7 yards to make it 14. Could be another instance of holding as the pocket quickly got out of Ruff's hands and he had to escape. The back judge is going in to have a conversation. That's Trey Williams to talk with Jake Razik before we can get this official call.
11 wide, yep.
Holding. Offense, number 68, half the distance to the goal. Still 2nd down.
So again, that's on Dylan Beauchamp, the right guard, his 2nd penalty of the game.
2nd down.
And instead of 3rd down at their own 14, it's going to be 2nd down for the Wolves at their own 4. Braves could very well capitalize on this one. Ruff has Chance Walker to his left side, claps for it, gives on the far side to Walker, and Walker fights through the line of scrimmage to pick up a gain of about 4. That's a speedy man that the defensive line just wasn't able to pick up immediately. James Martin, the sophomore linebacker, with the tackle for the Braves. But it's 3rd and probably about 20 yards, I'd like to say, for the Braves to try and make a decent stop here. Newberry needs to get to their own 33 to convert for a new set of downs. They're on their own 12. So 3rd and 21. Same formation. Low snap as Ruff is looking to pass. No time in the pocket. It's a screen as Lamine gets there in time, and a tackle beautifully made once again on James Martin's part as Chance Walker tried to get away. It'll only be a gain of about 3 on the screenplay, and the Braves come up with a good defensive stop, albeit helped with the assistance of penalties.
Shea Rogers on to punt for the Wolves.
So Rogers back to punt this one away. He's only about a yard deep in his own end zone, but JoJo Spann is in Wolves territory to return. This is a high and beautiful spiral. Spann signals fair catch as he backs up into his own 45-yard line where he hauls it in. Braves offense will retake the field, and they need something going their favor. Between Connor Stowe and Dom Sampson today, the two are only 8 for 14, 99 total yards in the waning minutes of this second quarter. It'll be Stowe once again, and he's got Josh Sheridan, leading rusher today, but he's only got 22 yards himself. Miles Grant with 5 attempts alongside Sheridan's 5 attempts, Grant with 11 yards. And Robert Beecham, the only other Brave with positive yardage on the ground at 1. Stowe rolling out to the near side, looking to pass. No time in the pocket, but finds an opening on the far side with Jalen Nixon. Nixon hit in the backfield as he catches it, brought down for maybe even a loss. Tyran Dixon, the tackle, making a loss of 3 as Nixon is pushed back. Second and now 13 for the Braves. They need to get into Wolves territory at the 45. They're lined up at their own 42. Almost the same 11 out on the field. JoJo Grant on the far side, Aaron Whitaker on the near side with E.J. Williams and JoJo Spann. Josh Sheridan, the running back, as Stowe looks to pass and goes quickly on the far side to Whitaker. He has it, makes a spin, pulls across midfield, maybe an extra yard, that's about it. Rather, JoJo Grant. Whitaker was on the near side, Grant on the far where the pass was complete. Spot the ball at midfield, make it 3rd and 5. On the near side, it's Whitaker and Williams. On the far side, it's Spann and Grant. JoJo and JoJo. Stowe relaying the 3rd and 5 play to his offensive line. Claps, has it, face high to the far side. Pumps, he loses the ball. And they're signaling an incomplete pass as it was batted away off of the hands of one of the defenders, Cato Jordan, the sophomore out of Hopkins, the defensive end. That's 4th down for the Braves at midfield. In the waning seconds of the first half, this could be one you go for, but the Braves are electing to punt it away. This game started with Newberry winning the coin toss and deferring it to the second half. The Braves elected to start the game receiving. So Newberry will receive the second half kickoff, and that decision for the Braves did not go in their favor. The first play from scrimmage after the return was an interception thrown by Dom Sampson on a shovel pass forward and taken to the 3-yard line by the Wolves. Isaac Parks boots this punt away. It bounces to the 20, rolls back to the 17, and back to the 15 it goes before the Braves finally pull it in. Colton Weeks makes the play, and the Braves defense will shuffle back out onto the field.
That's when the Wolves will take over first down.
It was nearly a back-and-forth game as things progressed, but after the interception and the 3-yard drive, Braves were able to answer back a kick off the right upright after a 40-yard JoJo Spann touchdown reception. Kept the lead in Newberry's favor, and then 2 scores in favor of the Wolves. 35-yard touchdown run from Nick Jones and a 23-yard touchdown run from Austin Barnes, making it 21-6, which is where we currently stand. Ruff, the quarterback, once again on the near side, the give to Barnes, and Barnes, for one of the first times, only picking up a gain of about 3.
Barnes on the carry.
Defensive line able to swallow him up on that play. Tajay Lyles gets there along with Dominique Davis. First tackle for him today, the sophomore out of Laurinburg, North Carolina. Make it 2nd and 7. Both teams keeping it a little slow as we're under a minute to go now here in the first half. Back out on the field is Jones after Ruff took that one. We've got a dead ball. Looks to be that the left guard went a little early on that play. We've got whistles, officials.
Offsides with contact. On the defense, 5 yards. Still second down.
2nd and 2.
So rather on the offense, it was on the Braves, offsides with contact. So whistle dead, but looks like we might not be done. Or no? The officials went back to have another conversation, and it looks like we were going to hear more from our head referee, Jake Razik. But no, they went ahead and moved the ball forward 5. Bad turn for the Braves, under a minute to go here in the first half. They reset, and now Razik is back to the original spot, and the officials are having another conversation. They're headed to the sidelines to talk with Newberry head coach Todd Knight.
Newberry elects to not take the 10-second runoff.
So Newberry not taking the runoff that would be applied. In order to try and preserve as much time as they can. So here's Jones. Calls for it, doesn't get it. Has it now, pumps to the near side on a long pass, goes deep downfield with it, intercepted, no! Chris Plotch had it in his hands as he went down, but rolled a little too far past it before he was able to make the play. Intended for the wide receiver, Keenan Lewis, would have only been his third reception this year, but the Braves weren't able to make a defensive turnover. They didn't have a single turnover on defense last week. That was the first time this year such a thing had happened. Braves initially one of the top teams in the nation. They were number 2 in 11 forced turnovers going into week 4. That number has since stayed the same. It's Ruff once again on the near side, a give to Barnes. He's hit and brought down by Albert Wright alongside Tajay Lyles after a gain of about 6. Good enough to move the chains, but it looks like that will end the half. Both sides headed to their locker rooms now as the Braves trail 21-6. Newberry will receive the kickoff to start the second half, and we'll give it to you in a few minutes, but we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we've got a halftime show coming your way right here on the UNCP Sports Network. Back on the UNCP Sports Network, Matt Sabatis here. Thank you for joining me on this lovely Saturday afternoon. We're at Setzler Field in Newberry, South Carolina for UNCP Braves football. It's halftime. The Braves trail 21-6 to the Newberry Wolves. It was an unfortunate start after a fair return from JoJo Spann to the Braves, I'd say about 35-yard line. An interception on an attempted jet sweep to Quadrin Williams didn't pan out. Dom Sampson bumped into Williams, lost control of the ball, and it ended up in the hands of the Wolves' Tyran Dixon. Sophomore out of Columbia, doesn't have too many stats to really gasp at this year. Only 7 tackles, but now is an interception down to his opposing team's 3-yard line. 2 plays later, Newberry punched it in for a score. 7-0 was the score then. JoJo Spann had a fantastic catch after a Braves 53-yard drive, after an ensuing drive capped off by a 3-and-out from the Braves defense. JoJo Spann picked up the 40-yard pass, bobbled off of the defender's hands into the end zone, but Alex Avardo's kick was no good off of the right upright, so the score was 7-6. It's been Newberry since then, with 6:19 left to go in the first quarter. 35-yard touchdown run from quarterback Nick Jones, and then in the opening minutes of the second quarter, a 23-yard touchdown run from Austin Barnes, assisted by a fantastic block down the stretch from Bobby Irby, the wide receiver, the only real testament he's really made in today's game. Both extra points good, making it 21-6 as the Braves now trail, in danger of dropping their 3rd straight game and maybe even falling to 1-4 on the season. Offensively for both sides, Connor Stowe and Dom Sampson have both seen time manning the offense today. Sampson 6 for 12 with 77 yards, the 1 touchdown pass to JoJo Spann, and then the interception to start today's matchup. Connor Stowe 4 for 5 for 27 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. On the ground, Josh Sheridan, 5 carries, 22 yards. Miles Grant with 5 carries as well, but only 11 yards. Robert Beecham, the only other Brave with positive yardage on the ground, with 1 carry for 1 yard. Receiving-wise, 3 Braves with a pair of receptions. Grant, E.J. Williams, and Quadrin Williams. Grant with 18 yards, E.J. Williams with 15 yards, and Quadrin with 11. JoJo Spann has his 40-yard touchdown reception. Quade 13 yards on 1 reception, and Robert Beecham a 10-yard reception. Jalen Nixon has a reception as well, but got dropped in the backfield for a 3-yard loss. For Newberry, they have used a lot less players to pick up the results that they've put down. Nick Jones, 2 for 3 through the air with 23 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Greg Ruff, the backup, 2 for 2, 8 yards total, no TDs, no interceptions. On the ground, that's where Newberry is getting the job done. Austin Barnes, the big man, 10 carries, 63 yards, 2 touchdowns. While Nick Jones has a touchdown on the ground himself, 6 carries for 34 yards. Greg Ruff with 2 carries, 13 yards, and Chance Walker only 1 carry for 8 yards. Defensively from both sides, leading tackler Chris Plotch for the Braves does have 1 pass breakup, nearly an interception at the 45-yard line, but was able to break it up either way. Tajay Lyles with 3 tackles, Albert Wright with 3, Trayvon Gibson, James Martin, Colton Weeks, Josh Mans, T.Y. Hinton, and Alpha Lamine, each with 2. T.Y. Hinton, the only other player to make stops in the backfield for the Braves. He has a sack and a tackle for loss. While on the opposite side of things, Newberry is putting together a much better defensive day. Joe Blue, the leading tackler, with 5. Anthony Movitt with 3 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, while Boo Williams has a sack and a TFL to go along with his 3 tackles. The only other sacks accountable for Newberry, Tyran Dixon has his interception, does have a tackle for loss and 1 sack, and then Cato Jordan late in the second quarter picked up a sack of his own. So that's where we stand currently at the half. 21-6 Braves trail. They'll kick it away to start out the third quarter. We'll have that coming your way in just a few minutes when we return on the UNCP Sports Network. Back in on the UNCP Sports Network, Matt Sabatis with you. We're just a few minutes away from kickoff of the second half. Between the Braves and the Newberry Wolves, Braves trail 21-7. Currently, it is a rough game offensively for the Braves. That much is understandable. But on the ground is really where all the numbers are starting to take shape. 32 yards total rushing for the Braves, 118 for Newberry. While Newberry has only carried the ball 19 times, the Braves have carried it only 18 times. Similar to the last time these two teams met, the Braves only held to 61 yards on the ground. The eventual touchdown that won the game for Newberry, 13-6 was the final, was an 87-yard pick six from the Newberry defense. This is a strong defense, and that has been a consistent factor throughout their time in the SAC. Folks, a word from our sponsors before we take a quick break. When UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be part of the team as the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics. Led by Ortho Carolina Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander, their specialists will cover every football and men's basketball game. From practice drills to kickoff, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far. When we come back, second half kickoff, see if the Braves can try and overcome this 21-6 deficit when we return right here on the UNCP Sports Network. Welcome back into Setzler Field in Newberry, South Carolina for UNCP Braves football on the UNCP Sports Network. Matt Sabatis here. I thank you so much again for joining me on this lovely Saturday afternoon. The Braves trail 21-6 and are ready to kick it off to start the second half. Nate Williams going from left to right on your radio dial, end over end. Boots it away from the 35-yard line on his own far hash, picked up by Keenan Lewis, taking it to the near side across the 20. There's a lot of pressure coming his way, and finally brought down. He goes hash to hash to the near side on the 30-yard line, or rather the 20-yard line. Finally brought down by number 30. That's where I tripped up. James Martin for the Braves. 1st and 10 for the Wolves at their own 21-yard line. This game started out in favor, technically, of the Braves, but an interception thrown by Dominic Sampson on a miscommunicated shovel pass to Shaman Hicks resulted in a drive lasting only 3 yards for Newberry as the interception was brought back to the Braves' 3-yard line. So out comes the offense of the Wolves, once again led by Nick Jones, and this one is a quick give to Austin Barnes up the gut. He bounces off the scrum at midfield and rushes his way over to the near side, picks up a gain of about 3 before Chris Plotch and Bakembe Carney bring him down. Defensive line was able to make a stop there, but Barnes made a good read on that play. Jones back out of the field now, along with Barnes and Bap Staggers, the tight end. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. We haven't seen much passing from Jones as the game has progressed. He tried it a little earlier on, but currently he's only 2 for 3 with 23 yards. Barnes to his left side. Jones gives it to him on the option. Tajay Lyles can't make the tackle. He slips through. Chris Plotch, the third man to make a touch, finally drags Barnes down after a gain of 7, good enough to move the chains. Newberry is picking up right where they left off. 1st and 10 as Barnes steps off the field for this one. Cardiez Cook, the running back out of Gilbert, South Carolina, the true freshman, is making an appearance in this half. 2 receivers on either side for Jones. No tight ends on this play. A 4-man front incoming. Bap Staggers in motion from the slot on the near side to the far. Jones claps, has it. 3-step drop, quick bubble to Cook. Met in the backfield, brought down. A beautiful tackle from the Braves. Cameron Williams with the stop. Chalk it up as a loss of 4. That'll bring up 2nd down. This is what the Braves defense could be using all day. And plays like this could really come in handy as they try to climb back out of this 15-point hole. Staggers back out as a tight end. Jones looks to be going solo on this play once again. 4-man front as Jones looks to the sidelines for a play call from Todd Knight, the head coach. 9th year manning this program, 2nd winningest coach in program history, a program that's dated back to the 1920s. Empty backfield, Jones, a 2-step drop back. He's keeping it himself on a delayed QB draw. Potential holding, but brought down from behind. The Braves able to make the tackle. Donovan Wirt. Tajay Lyles was pushed back a little extra and not able to make a play because of the left tackle Tyler Anderson, but Wirt there in time to stop that play before it gained any more than 2 yards. Cycling through a few receivers now, Wes Jordan, the senior out of Ware Shoals, South Carolina, making an appearance as a slot on the near side alongside Bobby Irby. On the far side, all alone is Keenan Lewis. Bap Staggers is off the field now. One of the offensive linemen is headed to the sideline. Austin Turner, the right guard, quickly went down on a knee just for officiating purposes. And are they saying it was because he's injured? The play clock was winding down. Todd Knight is asking for a review of some sort. There's a lot of confusion between the linesmen, the head referee. Todd Knight on this one looks to be that all is forgiven. I'm not so sure. They're restarting the clock now. The play clock has reset. No signal of a timeout, anything. I'm interested to know what went on here. Either way, empty backfield for Nick Jones, a man in motion. That's his wide receiver. Jones doesn't take it. Lining up in the slot now is Manny McCord. Jones hitting the backfield as he steps back in the pocket, pumps and throws downfield. Bobbled, not complete, and out of the hands. McCord, not the intended receiver. It was Markel Castle. The reigning player of the week in the South Athletic Conference has been held fairly silent in today's game. Only 1 reception for 6 yards, and that brings up 4th down.
Yeah, he stepped out and then he touched the ball again. He's the first. I don't know if that counts.
There's no flag on the play. The pass is incomplete. 4 down.
So there was a conversation on the sidelines between the officials that Castle had taken a step out of bounds
9, 10, 11.
in his hook back to try and make an attempt at receiving that ball, but the fact that it was an incompletion either way, the officials are saying just disregard. So Spann will be back to return this punt from Shea Rogers. Rogers inside his own 15, Spann just outside his own 30. Braves put a little bit of pressure on, but Spann will pick it up at his own 35 in between the hash marks. He's backing up, and a quad of Wolves defenders will swallow him up after a loss of probably about 2, backpedaling on that return. There's the official spot. The ball was dropped at the 29-yard line, but they're moving it up. They're saying the spot is at 32. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Braves as Dom Sampson is back out on the field. It was Connor Stowe for the final 3 offensive drives of the first half, but now Sampson has retaken the offense. This one a give on the near side, a quick draw to Josh Sheridan. To the line of scrimmage he goes, maybe a yard off the near side tackle, not much more to say from it. Joe Blue, one of the leading defenders in today's game with the stop. That's his 6th tackle today. 21-6 Braves trail as we're almost already 5 minutes past in this 3rd quarter. Sheridan and Sampson once again in the backfield. Cycling through receivers, the Braves go. E.J. Williams on the near side alongside JoJo Grant. Sampson claps in the gun. The give to Sheridan. Far side tackle with a hole and a blocker. Quay Threet makes a play to the 40. Goes Sheridan. He's brought down between the hash and the number on a gain of 9. That'll bring up 3rd down. The Braves will need to pick up an extra yard or 2.
Tackles made by Drew Williams and Anthony Moffett. Gain of 9 on the
Set the ball on the far hash of the 41-yard line. Braves need to get to their own 42. They huddle up now. 4-man front incoming from the Newberry defense. And that 4 linebacker set, he's usually been stretched thin, but they look to bring the house on this play as Sampson sets under center. The give on a drop back to Sheridan. He slides forward, falls down. There's going to be a close spot on this one. Knee came down behind the line of scrimmage, but the ball could move the chains depending on the official spot. Looks like it'll be short. 4th down. 21-6 Braves trail, and in situations like this, 4th and short, this might be something you go for, and it looks to be that's what the Braves are doing. The clock is running. Dom Sampson looks to the sidelines for some sort of call, and there seems to be confusion. Sampson has it with only 10 seconds left on the play clock. He's finally relaying the play. Under center is he with Miles Grant 5 yards back. 3 seconds on the clock. He takes it, fights forward, doesn't have it. Did the ball come loose? Either way, it's a turnover on downs. That defensive line for Newberry made the right play. There's a scrum in between the hash marks of the 41-yard line. The officials are trying to sort it out. The question is whether or not Sampson lost the ball. Either way, the Braves will most likely not convert. Head referee is waving this one off. Is there a penalty? Oh, they are going to measure this one. It doesn't seem to be as though Dom Sampson was close to making the 1st down, but they're bringing out the chains either way. Both sides of the ball still out on the field. He yanked the chains now, and yeah, not even close. I'd say a full 1.5 feet between the end of the ball and the 1st down marker. So it's a turnover on downs. And Newberry will pick it up in UNCP territory. Only the 2nd time today that Newberry will start on the opposing side of the field. The first was that very first play, the interception picked up by Tyran Dixon.
1st down and 10.
Braves defense quickly out onto the field. And the offense for Newberry out as well. Looks to be Greg Ruff will be running the offense this time through. He's got Barnes to his left side in the shotgun. 3 receivers on the near, far side is empty. Ruff keeps it himself on the option. He's going to the near side, slips past a defender, and finally gets dragged down. Got Bakembe Kearney to stutter step and faked him out. Chris Plotch making the play. 2nd and 5 on the carry.
Gain of 5, bringing up 2nd down and 5.
It'll be Ruff once again. He's climbing the yardage-wise when it comes to his overall running game. That's his 3rd carry, picking up now 18 yards on the day. He's again in the shotgun. 3 receivers on the far side with the ball on the near hash on this 2nd and 5 play. Claps. Give us to Barnes on the near option. Braves defensive line is there to make the play, but Barnes has the legs to pick up a couple of extras. Cyrus Stonbeck making the tackle alongside Lucas Brim, the junior out of Bowles Creek, North Carolina. Ruff once again in the shotgun. Newberry Wolves defense getting set faster and faster. 4-man front incoming from the Braves. They look to bring an extra linebacker or two. Jordan Howard's raring to go, as is Tajay Lyles on the far side. Tack on Chris Plotch as well. Receiver in motion, that's Keenan Lewis. Ruff calls for it, has it. 2-step drop, slings to the far side, underthrown to Markel Castle. And that's one of the bad parts about Greg Ruff. Doesn't get too many opportunities when it comes to being just an overall passer. 10 for 15 coming into this game, sure. But a lot of those times he's throwing the ball are usually in blowouts. That brings up 4th down after the 3rd and 3 incompletion. No returner back for the Braves. JoJo Spann was on the sidelines under confusion. He's looking to the sidelines still as he backs out, and the Braves really need to run on this one. JoJo wasn't paying attention when the ball was hiked up and punted away. Bouncing first at the 5-yard line. Do the Wolves save it? No. Falling into the end zone on the recovery is Balin English for Newberry. A close attempt at a save. He had hands on it at the 1, but fell in with his momentum. So the Braves will catch a break and move ahead to the 20-yard line where they'll start the next offensive drive. Word from our sponsors, folks. Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation belongs to the members it serves. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run. And with members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions are made in your best interest and in the interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? That's the cooperative difference in how the LREMC co-op affects lives every day. Here's a quick pass on the near side from Dom Sampson up the middle and picking up a 1st down. That's moving your feet, Jalen Nixon. 3rd reception of the year, picking up 15 yards on the play. That'll move the chains from the 20-yard line all the way to the 39.
19 yards, 1st down for the Braves.
Catching the Wolves off guard, catching me off guard in the middle of that live read. It's 1st and 10 for the Braves at the 39-yard line. Miles Grant, the running back in this one. Dom Sampson in the shotgun with Grant 2 steps behind him. Delayed snap, doesn't take. The give to Grant on the far side. Tackle has a blocker and a slight hole as he gets 8 yards. Just shy of midfield, falls down for another one. It'll bring up 2nd and 1. Braves offense slowly starting to pick up the pace, it seems. And something they could use as they trail 21-6 about midway through this 3rd quarter. Grant starting to pick up yardage as well. Josh Sheridan ended the half the leading rusher with just over 30 yards. Grant had 11. That was a 9-yard carry, brings him to 20. Sampson, 3-step drop, looks to the near side. Quick screen to Grant. A blocker and E.J. Williams. He stutter steps at midfield, wrapped by 3 Wolves and shoved out of bounds in Wolves territory, 3 yards past the 50-yard marker. Give one of the tackles to Rameek Smith. Give another part of that tackle to Tevin Williams, the outside linebacker out of Graniteville, South Carolina. Good enough to move the chains. Miles Grant does it again. 1st and 10 for the Braves. Mark it at the 48. Grant will line up on the near side. The quarterback and the running back technically in Braves territory. Give on the sweep. Grant, far side, at the hash, met at the line of scrimmage, pushed in the backfield. They stop forward momentum as 5 Braves, or 5 Wolves, I should say, swarm in. Chalk it up as a loss of 1.
Will Elm and Keto Jordan in on that tackle. Loss of 1. 2nd down and 11.
Already 32 yards on this drive. That was the 4th play of it. It's 2nd and 11 for the Braves, a yard shy of midfield in Wolves territory. Empty backfield for Sampson. 3 receivers near, 2 far, pumps once to the near and finds E.J. Williams as he cuts back with a wide open hole and a few extra blockers. Gets the chain marker and falls down after a tackle from I'd say about 3 different Wolves on that play. Met initially by Isaiah Appling, brought down by Rameek Smith, the senior out of Ridgeville, South Carolina. They could move the chains, and they will. Could have been 3rd and 1. Either way, it's 1st and 10. Braves still trail 21-6 midway through this 3rd quarter, but the momentum is starting to build. Forcing a punt on the last offensive drive from the Wolves, and Josh Sheridan and the Braves have a chance here. Sheridan in the gun next to his quarterback, Sampson. Sampson has it, chest high, the give to Sheridan. No hole for him to fight through as he's immediately met by 3 different Wolves and brought down for at most a gain of 1. Tackle on the play made by Wolves number 37, Malik Whitfield, one of the defensive backs.
Sheridan.
2nd down.
On the carry.
Tack on a couple of more after the fall as Sheridan has the legs to pull that off. 7 yards to go for the Braves. They need to get to the Wolves' 28-yard line. 4-man front incoming from Newberry. Only 2 linebackers as they have to send out a nickel. Rolling to the near side is Sampson on the chest high snap. Finds E.J. Williams. No, tipped out of his hands into the Wolves. And it's an interception again by Sampson. Picked up by Jawanza Adams, the junior out of Piedmont, South Carolina. 7th interception thrown in 3 games by Dom Sampson. Well, that one might not have been as attributed as much to him. Bounce off of E.J. Williams' face mask, his hands into the air, and a great read by Jawanza Adams to turn the tides in that offensive drive. Braves had a chance to fight into the red zone, but it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolves at their own 22-yard line. 21-6 Braves trail with 8:13 left to go. Actually making about 7 minutes left to go here in this second half. Jones, keeper on the option, near side, gets to the 25 before Plotch drags him down. Only a gain of about 2. Good read from the linebackers on that play.
Josh Mans.
So make it 5 minutes left to go in this 3rd quarter.
On the game, 2nd down and 7.
Barnes again the running back on this one. Nick Jones relaying the play to his offensive line. Sets up 3 yards deep. Steps back 2 more. Claps, has it. 3-step drop back. Looks at the far side, dumps it under, and it's tipped out of the hands by the defensive line. Great play, great read. Brian McAllister, the sophomore out of Wallace, North Carolina. Quickly, it's 3rd down.
3rd down.
Braves swap through 8 of the guys on the field defensively, bring in a whole new line, whole new linebacking core. The only people retained are Tyreek Ramseur and Colton Weeks. Jordan Howard as well. Empty backfield. Jones will look to go downfield with it. 5 yards deep on the shotgun. He takes a 3-step drop back. He's hit. He's brought down. It's a sack. T.Y. Hinton, his 2nd of the game, broke through the coverage and brings up 4th down.
Loss is back to the 19-yard line. 4th down.
Another big forced 3-and-out from the Braves defense. Now it'll be on the offense to convert this one to try and come back out of this 15-point deficit.
Shea Rogers off the punt for the Wolves.
Braves scored on their 2nd offensive possession.
JoJo Span.
They've been silent since. Span back to return, lined up at his own 44. Booted away by Shea Rogers, end over end, a flag in the backfield. Braves might be giving one up here. Span doesn't signal the fair catch, hauls it in, and gets dropped at the 39-yard line after backpedaling 2 yards. Running into the kicker penalty.
Laundry on the field. Preliminary indication running into the kicker by the Braves.
We already had the signal from head referee Jake Razik. Let's see if he signals again over the PA. I don't know if he will or not. Already made the signal that it would be running into the kicker. That's an automatic 1st down for Newberry. Oh, wow. No, it was... Was it against the offense?
Running into the kicker. UNC Pembroke. 5 yards from the end of the kick. 1st down.
So it was running into the kicker, but the Braves still hold on to the ball. And after the interception, it'll be Connor Stowe back out onto the field. Dom Sampson, 9 for 16 today, only 111 yards, 2 interceptions to go along with his 1 touchdown to JoJo Spann. Stowe is 4 for 5 with 27 yards. He has it, fakes on the near side to Josh Sheridan, and hit on the blind side as a late flag comes in on a beautiful sack, regardless, from Cato Jordan. Sidelines are livid after that flag, as is the crowd here. Conversation between the officials at the 30-yard line on the near hash. This could just be holding for all we know. In comes the linesman. It's already the back judge, the line judge, the umpire, and our head referee, Jake Razik, talking this one through. Neither side has really moved one way or the other yet, so not much to confirm or deny. Looked like a clean hit. Could say maybe helmet-to-helmet contact. That's just speculation. They're still talking it over on the near hash around the 30-yard line. Looks like we might have a call coming.
Personal foul.
Well, you can hear by the rain of boos which way that was going. Helmet-to-helmet contact is the call. Braves are gifted a first down, and it looks like Connor Stowe might have been taken off the field for that play. Dom Sampson is back out. The officials are not done talking this one over, though. The Braves' offense is yet to move. They finally start to. And as I said, it's Dom Sampson back out on the field following the one play and the heavy hit on Connor Stowe. Fans are still talking it through. When I say talking, I mean a few vulgarities thrown in there at the boys in black and white. Either way, Braves gifted one. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 49. So Sampson takes 5 yards back to set up in the shotgun. Miles Grant to his right side, twins on either side. Todd Knight, red in the face, trying to work his way through this one. Head coach in his 9th season manning the Wolves. Sampson, 5-step drop, looks to the near side as a holding flag comes in. Sampson goes downfield with it, and a PI flag. JoJo Grant in double coverage, plenty of contact between. These will most likely offset. Isaiah Appling in coverage alongside Nick Truesdale, a sophomore from Dillon, South Carolina. Things could start to get a little chippy now as this game progresses. Braves trail by 15 in the waning minutes of the 3rd quarter. Might just have a replay of down.
Number 62 on the offense. Pass interference. On the defense, number 38. Those fouls offset. Replay first down.
So as I said, offsetting fouls on that. Cameron Hodges, the culprit on the Braves side of things, the right guard.
1st down and 10.
While for Newberry, Giovanni Neal, the outside linebacker. So it'll be 1st and 10 again. We'll act like that one didn't happen, but the feelings are still there from this sideline. Sampson claps, face high, near side. Grant met in the backfield. He's hit, brought down, nearly had the ball stripped. Joe Blue was gunning for it, but Grant held on. Blue's 9th tackle of the day. It'll be a loss of 1. 2nd and 11 for the Braves, 2 yards shy of them reaching midfield.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
Swapping through receivers now. Isaiah Eller, the tight end, off. JoJo Spann back out onto the field. He's lined up as a slot on the near side. Sampson In the gun, Grant to his right side. Four-man front incoming as Sampson looks to pass. Three-step drop. He's hit as he tries to escape the pocket. He's brought down. A 2-yard sack. Cato Jordan once again. He was the culprit on that penalty that knocked Connor Stowe out of the game.
Sacks, Dominic Sampson. Loss of 2, bringing up third.
Chalk it up as a 3rd and 12 now. The Braves need a conversion. Throughout this game, they are 4 for 9 on third downs. That's better than their usual mark. But this game keeps getting later and later, and when it gets more and more crucial, sometimes the Braves haven't been able to come up. We've got a late flag, or I should say, very early flag, at the 45-yard line on the far side from the head linesman.
Offside. Offense. 5 yards. Replay third down.
So they're calling all offsides, on Aaron Whitaker. He was just lined up a yard 2 extra into the neutral zone. So the Braves bite themselves on that one, and what was most likely going to be a passing play on 3rd and long is almost definitely going to be a passing play on 3rd and long. Robert Beecham in for some extra blockage as Sampson looks deep downfield. He's going with it, some contact, no flag, and Quay Threet can't make the play. Joe Blue in coverage, tripped up, made a little contact on the feet, but no flag. So Braves failed to convert that 3rd down. They're now 4 for 10 on the day. Isaac Parks will have to punt this one away as we come up on the closing seconds of this 3rd quarter. Allen to return. Just in time, Parks gets it away as they converge. Allen backing up on it. Didn't see a fair catch signal, but we have whistles blowing. Maybe he went a little low with it. Either way, it's picked up at the 18-yard line in Wolves territory. Braves defense has been fairly sublime throughout this second half. We've had a scoreless 3rd quarter after Newberry put on 14 in the first, 7 in the second, and we sit at 21-6. Braves are leading total offensive yards, 187 to 162. You see it there on your screen, but the rushing yardage is the name of the game. We talked with head coach Shane Richardson prior to, and he knew it was something that was going to keep the Braves defense on their toes. It has done so today. Greg Ruff, the quarterback in this one. We've got flags and whistles before this play progresses, and it's whistled dead. Which way is this one going on? What do you got to say to us, Jake Roski?
Illegal snap. Offense number 52. 5 yards. First down.
So that's on the center, Dakota Mazingo. Penalties aplenty coming here and there from both sides. Braves have committed 6, only 30 yards. Newberry's committed 7, make that now 8 for 69 yards. They'll try again. Ruff, 6 yards back. Barnes to his left side. Has it. Fakes the sweep on the option. Has a blocker. Defensive line there to make the play. Beautiful play from the Braves defense on that one. They immediately sniffed out the option, got there in time, made the play, brought down the QB. Dom Davis with the stop, the sophomore out of Laurinburg. Came into today's game with 9 tackles. He's picked up a couple of more. Chalk it up as a 2-yard rush after the loss of the penalty, so it'll be 2nd and 13. Ruff once again. He's got Bap Staggers as the tight end on the near side with Barnes to his right in the shotgun. Fakes the give, look at a pass, takes it himself, wrapped up, escapes it. Ruff still going once again. They try to rip the ball out, but the Braves are still able to make the play. Dom Davis once again with the tackle after the initial contact was made by T.Y. Hinton and Alpha Lamine. Ruff, an adept runner. We've seen that plenty of times before. An all-state player in 2014 and 2015 before coming into college. Back-to-back high school champion in the state of South Carolina, 2014 and 2015. Trying to get it done for his team today. The Braves defense trying to force another 3 and out. It's 3rd and 8. Ruff pumps one pass. Pocket collapses. He's met Doesn't get taken down. He's taken it himself. There's a flag, potentially holding, as Ruff is tossed out of bounds after an ample run, which would have been enough for a first down to the 30-yard line.
Penalty mark on the field.
But the holding penalty will drag the Wolves back. Here's Jake Razik.
Offense, number 75, 10 yards. Still third down.
That's on Austin Anderson, the backup right tackle. 2 penalties on this single set of downs being gifted to the Braves. Now 9th penalty for Newberry. Coming into today, they were one of the cleanest teams in terms of overall penalties in the entire South Atlantic Conference, averaging just under 6 per game. So Ruff looks to the sidelines for a new play call, and this will most likely be the end of the third quarter. Both teams headed to the sidelines now, and it is. So we will step aside, be right back in just a few seconds, right here on the UNCP Sports Network. Well, a scoreless third quarter in the books as the Braves still trail 21-6 to the Newberry Wolves here on the UNCP Sports Network. Before we get started with the fourth quarter, a word from our sponsors. Ever wondered why our sponsor Lumberton Chevy Buick Cadillac GMC has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevys, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMCs, SUVs, and trucks. Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They're located next to Lumberton High School. That's Lumberton Chevy, Buick, Cadillac, GMC. Proud sponsor of UNCP Athletics. So third and mildly long after a pair of penalties. This drive with penalties for Newberry, only 2 plays, and they've lost 8 yards on it. Ruff in the gun, low snap as he takes a 2-step drop looking to pass. Pocket heavily collapsing. He's dropped from the back. The Braves kept the play going. T.Y. Hinton, his 3rd of the day. Came in with 2 on the year, tacks on a few more. He'll be in the conversation for an ECAC Player of the Week. That's for darn sure. So it'll be the punting unit out on the field on this 4th and long. Another 3-and-out forced by the Braves. Shea Rogers out to give it a go. JoJo Spann back to return. Rogers spiraling high, bouncing first. Nope, doesn't bounce. Spann took a step back and let it bounce, but eventually walked in and fair caught it at the 50. Had a good chance to it. Spann hasn't really given too many attempts at returns, has 2 returns and a net of minus half a yard. Rogers, pretty good day when it comes to his overall punting. That was his 6th of the day, just under 40 yards average. While in general, he averages about 38 yards per. So the Braves have a chance here. Just shy of midfield. Dom Sampson in the gun. Near side give, Quadron Williams. Has some blockers and a lot of push. To the 50, cross midfield to the 45, before he's finally dragged down on top of the numbers.
Tackle made by Jamarcus Henderson.
Jamarcus Henderson with the tackle. 2nd team All-American last year. One of the best players on this defensive line. 5'10 junior out of Union, South Carolina. 65 tackles on the year. Or 23 tackles on this year. 65 tackles on the year of 2016. 22 in the backfield last year. Phenomenal player. Sampson on this 2nd and 2. Fakes the handoff, play action. Going deep with it for JoJo Spann. It's overthrown.
Pass incomplete, intended for JoJo Spann.
That's the speed that Spann has. Outran Laquan White, the senior cornerback out of Ridgeville. White, one of the speediest players on this Wolves team, and Spann had about 2 yards on him. Sampson just overestimated Spann's speed. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Braves at the Newberry 42.
Make some noise for this Wolves.
Big chance on a 3rd down here. The Braves could heavily use a conversion. Sampson, near side give Williams. Another blocker in Beecham. Fights through the pile, picks up the first just across the 40. A phenomenal run from the sophomore out of Laurinburg. Braves are really starting to move on 3rd down too. That's 5 of 11 now they've converted this game. There's a Brave down on the field just on top of the 40-yard line.
There's an injured Brave.
Looks as if it could be a lineman, but from the vantage point I have here in the press box, unfortunately, I can't give you that information right now. The athletic training staff taking a look. Both teams headed to their sidelines to talk over with their coaches during this injury timeout. And while the teams have one, we'll take one too. I look forward to rejoining you in just a few seconds right here on the UNCP Sports Network. Back on the UNCP Sports Network, the injured player left guard Jared Johnson. After that phenomenal run by Quadron Williams, he was a part of that pile that went to the ground. He was flipped over onto his back as he was being attended to by the athletic training staff. He's now sitting up on top of the 40-yard line, on top of the actual number 40, just by the Braves sideline. He's being helped up by a wonderful athletic training staff led by Michael Blackburn. He's being helped off now. Looks like his right leg, he already has a brace on it, and he needs 2 of his fellow linemen to help him off onto the sidelines. A scary scene here, but doesn't seem to be anything too extremely serious. Braves will need to get right back into rhythm, though. They've got a 1st down after Quadron Williams' run, and it looks like the small man is making the biggest impact on the ground for the Braves today. 2 carries now, 11 yards. And he's again in the shotgun with Sampson. Extra blocking on the screen pass. He's got it, but brought down in the backfield. Wolves sniffed that one out. Tackle on the play made by Joe Blue, his 10th of the day. Braves leading with 6 from Chris Plotch, and Blue is really showing them up, the inside linebacker. Loss of 4 makes it 2nd and 14. Got about a minute passed here in this 4th quarter. Still plenty of time left for the Braves to try and overcome this 15-point deficit, but they need to make it all the way to the 29-yard line in Wolves territory. Sampson looking to pass. Time in the pocket. No flags. He goes to E.J. Williams at the 28. Wide open through triple coverage, and he finally finds his way through. Todd McKnight is furious on the sideline. Todd Knight, rather. Trying to talk his way through Will Elm, the linebacker, who just lost Williams like a deer in headlights. And Williams blew him up for a reception of about 17. Make it 1st and 10 now to the Braves 26. They're moving quickly. Josh Sheridan, the running back again. The fullback Beecham out now. Sampson pumps once. Delayed draw and a give to Sheridan. He's met in the backfield and brought down for a loss. Jamarcus Henderson, another fantastic play from the junior defensive man out of Union, South Carolina. First team South Atlantic Conference, all-conference. Jamarcus really has a lot of great time left here at Newberry. Braves cycling through a few players now. They bring out Quay Threet and send Robert Beecham to the sideline.
Make some noise.
Third and long for the Braves. And now here's Sampson. Pressure, hit, backfield, dropped. It's a sack.
Dominic Sampson sack.
Darius Gillespie
Spigner and Devin Dexter.
and Devin Dexter in the backfield. Second sack of the year for Dexter, the true freshman out of Duncan, South Carolina. And it looks like there's some confusion on the sidelines onto the actual down.
Fourth down and long.
The coach's box up here was saying it was third down. It looks like Coach Shane Richardson is saying the same on the sideline, but it's fourth down. Parks, a short end-over-end boot. Allen signals for fair catch at the 15.
Wolves will take over first down and 10.
Fair from both sides. Nothing too antsy about any of that. Eighth punt of the year inside the 20-yard line for Isaac Parks, but the Braves defense could really benefit from another 3 and out. Folks, another word from our sponsors. Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 UNC Pembroke varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We here at the UNCP Sports Network thank Adidas for all of its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for our student athletes. Greg Ruff back out onto the field, manning the offense for Newberry. Give on the option, near side Barnes. Tries to fight up through the gut. Josh Manns brings him down after a gain of about 5.
Brought down by a host of
Seems to be the Braves defense is starting to get a little better rhythm on Austin Barnes. While that man is powerful, no matter what you do, he's going to get a little slower and slower after each body he comes in contact with. And the Braves are really starting to pile on. Chalk it up as a gain of 4, make it 2nd and 6 for the Wolves at their own 23-yard line. Same formation, Barnes on the near side as the running back for Ruff. He claps and they swap now. Bapp staggers the tight end, motions to the near side. Barnes on the option, has it. Braves meet him at the line of scrimmage. He's still up. They finally whistle him dead for forward momentum. I'd say about 5 different Braves contributing on that tackle. I saw T.Y. Hinton, Chris Plotch, and Colton Weeks all getting in on that play. Make it 3rd and 5. They'll say it's a loss of 1.
and Jordan Howard.
Another big potential for a 3 and out here from the Braves. The offense needs to get things going themselves, though. They have outgained Newberry throughout this game. 199 yards to Newberry's 172, but the momentum killer was that first offensive play, the interception from Dominic Sampson on the attempted shovel pass to Shamon Hicks. 8 seconds on the game clock, or the play clock rather, and hit as he throws. Ruff goes deep downfield. It's caught by Keenan Lewis across midfield to the 40. He's still on his feet. Braves finally drag him down. Tyreek Ramser at the 25. Not even a busted coverage play, just a phenomenal pass from Greg Ruff. Under pressure, he got it away, and a fantastic third down conversion for the Wolves. They were only 2 for 8 before that play on their third downs. And suddenly, they're just outside the Braves' red zone.
First down.
That was the longest pass of the season for Greg Ruff. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolves at the 25-yard line in Braves territory. Empty backfield for Ruff. He puts his 2 tight ends in motion, and Sean Smith and Bapp Staggers. Staggers now lined up as a running back on the near side. Another option to the near side as Ruff keeps it himself. Still on his feet. The Braves finally drop a shoulder and drop the hammer. Bakembe Carney brings him down after a gain of 6. Contact made from 3 other Braves, though. Chris Plotch and Albert Wright all had a hand on Greg Ruff, but Carney was the one to finally bring him down. 2nd and 4 now. We're under 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. The Braves need a stop to attempt to stay in this one, but their offense has been stifled since the first quarter. Bap staggers in motion from the near to the far. It's a quick screen to Sean Smith, but the Braves' defensive line immediately swallowed that one up. Alex Richardson and Cyrus Stonback with the stop.
Clock on the skater.
Still 21, yes.
3rd and 4.
Ball is placed in the 19.
Newberry 3 for 9 on third down conversions. Their last third down was the 56-yard pass to Keenan Lewis. Barnes back in the game as a running back on the near side. Ruff in the gun. 2 receivers on the near side, make it 3. Far side is empty. Bap staggers the tight end on that side, however. Option give to Barnes, lifted up and brought down by Tajay Lyles. Won't be enough for the first down, but he'll be a yard shy. We've got whistles and a helmet off. That's by Barnes. That's a good break for the Braves. That means Barnes has to sit out this play. Or did his helmet come off, or did he take it off following the play? Because he's headed back out there now.
Personal foul, face mask, on the defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
So you hear Jake Razik.
We'll pick up another Wolves.
My apologies, didn't see any laundry on the field for that play. So face mask on Tajay Lyles when he brought down Austin Barnes, gifts the Wolves at 1st and goal at the Braves' 9-yard line.
Ball's on the 9-yard line.
And Barnes is still in the game. Guess he brought his helmet off after the fact because of the face mask. This one, an option. Ruff keeps it himself, finds an opening through the offensive line, but the linebackers crash quickly after seeing that opening. Bakembe Carney, the cornerback, or the safety rather, with the stop. Chalk it up as a gain of about 4. Make it 2nd and goal at the 4. This is the closest the Wolves have been to the end zone since their opening offensive drive after the Dominic Sampson interception in the opening minute of play. Their other 2 scoring plays were both 35 yards and 40 yards. Ruff in the gun with Barnes. Claps, has it, fakes the give, keeps it himself on the near side, has an opening with the sweep, trying to fight against, splits a defender and finds his way into the end zone. Nearly a horse collar tackle from Sean Everett. Ruff somehow got around it. Everett had both hands on both shoulders of Ruff. Gotta say it might be a size mismatch. Sean Everett 5'9". Wasn't able to make the play. 27-6, Braves trail by 3 touchdowns. So we now have another PAT coming from Shea Rogers. 3 for 3 today. The snapper is Perry Abel, the holder is McCord. The snap is back, the ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good.
The kick is good.
4-yard touchdown run from Greg Ruff, capping off an 8-play, 86-yard drive spanning 4 minutes and 39 seconds. The key play in that one was the 56-yard pass from Greg Ruff to Keenan Lewis. Puts the Braves down now by 22. They've got a hole to climb out of with 6:22 left to go here in the ball game. We'll take a break. When we come back, we've got the end of the game coming up here on the UNCP Sports Network. (28-6) Braves trail, 6:22 left to go in the ball game. Kevin Weber from left to right will kick this one off once again. Back to return for the Braves. JoJo Spann lined up on the near hash of his own 4-yard line. And on the far side, it's Joe Leake. He hasn't seen much action today. End over end, it's a high and mildly short one. Spann hauls up on it, picks it up at the 9. has some blockers and a little bit of room to the 20. Hurdles a man down to the 23 before he's tackled and finally brought down. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving going on after the fact. No flags, though. Daryl Foster with the special teams tackle for Newberry. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Braves offense when they get out on the field. Now the big question will be whether it'll be Dom Sampson or Connor Stowe. Stowe, a hard hit on a sack from behind, helmet-to-helmet contact. He was brought out of the game, and we haven't seen him since. I can't seem to find him on the sidelines. It'll be Dom Sampson with Miles Grant as his running back. In the shotgun, Grant to his left side with twins on either side. A 4-man front incoming from the defensive line of Newberry. Chest high snap, 3-step drop back, looking at the near, pocket collapses. Dom takes it himself to the 25. Grabbed from the back as 2 Newberry players run into each other with a slide from Dom, and one Wolf is down. It should be good enough for the first down from Dom Sampson, but that could be a gruesome injury. But no, the man is up and moving. Is that Kareem Hines? Can't see just yet. No, that's Laquan White. Made contact with Hines. Could have been a little helmet-to-helmet as they both tried to go after Sampson, but Sampson with a well-timed slide to not only pick up the first, but avoid getting his own clock worked. 1st and 10 for the Braves. They're at their own 33. Face high snap, Sampson a 3-step drop with time in the pocket. Hit as he throws, goes for Williams, and it's out of bounds. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Sampson felt a little bit of the pressure, unsure if he was trying to go to the sideline for that one or just overthrew because of the incoming brick wall. It's a fair assessment of Keto Jordan. Already 3 sacks on the day for the sophomore. 2nd and 10 for the Braves at their own 33-yard line. They need a score on this drive. Under 5 to go as they trail by 22. Quan White down in front of us. Here the press box being attended to, has his helmet off. Quick screen bubble out to Miles Grant. Splits one defender and sheds a tackle, but he can only pick up about 3 yards on the play before he's finally brought down. Tackle made by Troy Cunningham and Chase Austin, the junior, the latter out of Lexington, South Carolina. So the Braves have 3rd and 7, and they've got a couple of decisions to make. Update on White. He's up and moving around off the trainer's table, probably just getting some water and recovering. Miles Grant, the running back, with 2 wide receivers on either side for Dom Sampson, a 4-man front incoming as the Wolves look to cover on this one. Sampson, a 3-step drop with pressure, but goes deep with it. Well overthrown and well out of bounds of JoJo Grant's receiving range. That'll bring up 4th down, and that'll bring out the Braves punting unit. At this point in a game, this is a 4th down you'd want to go for, but this deep in your own territory, it's usually not advisable, and that'll bring out Isaac Parks. Brentley Allen back to return for Newberry. He's lined up at his own 28-yard line in the far hash. That's where the ball is placed. Parks, he's ready, has it, face high snap. 2 steps forward, boots it away. Beautiful spiral, very high. Allen backing up on it. Takes it at his own 24-yard line. So that's where the Newberry offense will start out next. Another word from our sponsor, folks. When UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be part of the team at the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics. Led by Ortho Carolina Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander, their specialists will cover every football and men's basketball game at UNC Pembroke. From practice drills to kickoff and tip-off, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far. Only 2 plays for the Braves on that drive. They did pick up 11 yards on those 2 plays, and that's all they were able to get. Greg Ruff, the quarterback, once again. It's a jet sweep on the near side. Only a pick of about 3, though, for the wide receiver. That's Wes Jordan, his first touch of the day. Technically a reception, his 5th of the year. Making a gain of about 6 before Albert Wright and Colton Weeks make the play. 2nd and 4 for the Braves as we've got time starting to expire in this one. Braves trail by 22, and they could very well be out of it. Under 5 to go. Barnes motions to the other side as a running back in the gun. And the option, he takes it. fights through the defensive line, and that's a pile to be pushed. That's some great offensive line push, to say the least, as Barnes is able to pick up the 5 yards needed for the first.
Barnes on the carry.
Chains will move. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Newberry 37-yard line.
Jordan Howard and Tyreek Mansour. Gotta move the chains for Wolves. First down.
Same formation coming in for Newberry. Lone receiver on the near side is Wes Jordan. On the far, a pair of receivers alongside the tight end, Sean Smith. Barnes, the running back, to the left side of Ruff in the shotgun. They both motion to the near side now. Ruff has it on the option to give to Barnes. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and the defensive line doesn't allow any more push on that play. Looks to be Barnes might have lost his helmet again. They'll give him a gain of 1, but he's definitely got to sit out on this play. When you lose your helmet in NCAA, that's the rule. You lose your helmet, you sit out the next play. I was surprised he didn't before, but you can chalk that up to the fact that it was a face mask penalty. Tighten your helmet a little tighter there, man. 2nd and 9. Braves a chance here. They bring in Cook as Barnes sits this one out. Ruff has it. Give to Cook on the near side. Met at the line of scrimmage. Braves linebackers get in to stop the forward momentum, and they'll whistle it dead after a half-yard gain. Tackle on the play by Cyrus Stonback, the junior out of Rockingham. Stonback having a good day defensively overall. That's his 4th tackle. Hasn't made one in the backfield yet. Then again, neither have really many of the Braves. D.Y. Hinton is the lone outlier. 3 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. Cameron Williams is the only other Brave to make a stop in the backfield. 3rd and 8. Barnes back in this one. To the right side of Ruff as the running back. Hard count doesn't take, they'll do it again. Sean Smith, the tight end on the near side. 2 receivers on the far, 1 on the near. Braves bringing a 4-man front. Receiver in motion. That's JT Waters. Quick screen picked up by Sean Smith, and he's off to the races. Braves in pursuit across the 30, dragged down as the Braves somehow make a game-saving play. Michael Clark, his first tackle of the day, the redshirt freshman, saved a touchdown. JT Waters drew the eyes of the Braves defense and left Sean Smith wide open for a quick little dump off past the line of scrimmage. We're under 3 minutes to go now, about 2:20 until the end of this ball game. Ruff claps for it. On the option, gives to Barnes. He's hit. At the line of scrimmage, and Alpha Lamine drags him down. No gain. Defensive line is finally starting to get wise to the game that Austin Barnes runs, but too little too late in a game like this. 28-6 Braves trail in the closing pair of minutes of this matchup. This ball has mostly been kept on the ground throughout the day, but you can't say it won't go through the air after that pass to Sean Smith. Greg Ruff has had a fairly good day passing-wise. 6 for 7, only 1 incompletion, 106 yards. But this one, another give to Barnes on the option. Fights through the pile, gets up, I'd say about a gain of 3 at the most. Nathan London, the stop, the junior from Winston-Salem. That'll bring up 3rd down, say about 7 to go. This is field goal range for Shea Rogers and Kevin Weber. Weber is the main field goal kicker. Hasn't really had too many chances this game. But his longest this year is 45. Hard count, nearly catches the Braves, but they hold themselves. Nearly got Khalil Vance, but now the Wolves look to the sideline for a new one. Ruff has it. Gives it to Barnes on the far side, splits off the tackle and picks up about 6. Should be good enough for the 1st down before he's dragged down from Cyrus Stonback. All depends on the official spot. He had to get to the 15. Looks like he could be half a yard shy. So yeah, it'll be 4th and inches. They're not even going to measure it. At this point in the day, there's no real point to it. Braves trail by 22, and we're coming up on the final minute of play.
4th down.
Following this one, we could just have knees the rest of the way. Greg Ruff looking to the sideline for a play call. Austin Barnes will line up to his left side. There's now 12 seconds left on the play clock. Sean Smith, the tight end on the far side. 2 receivers on the far, 1 on the near. Wes Jordan is all alone. 4-man front incoming, make it 5 for the Braves. Barnes the give, he's met. at the line of scrimmage and keeps those feet chugging. Braves try to rip it away, but they can't. Cyrus Stonback, the final tackle, and that expires the clock. That's going to do it. 28-6, your final today between the Newberry Wolves and your UNC Pembroke Braves. Braves fall to 1-4 on the season. Newberry increases their record to 3-2. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll break things down for you, how this game went. Quick scoring recap and stats to keep an eye out for from today and for next game. All that and more coming up next on the postgame show here on the UNCP Sports Network. We welcome you back into the UNCP Sports Network, and thank you so much for joining us on this lovely Saturday afternoon. But the Braves fall today 28-6 to the Newberry Wolves in Newberry, South Carolina. Braves fall to 1-4 on the season. Newberry increases their record to 3-2. Final stats from today's game. Dom Sampson played a majority of this game. He got taken out on a few drives, and in the second quarter, or second half I should say, was almost taken out for what could have been a decent portion of the half. But on the first play, Connor Stowe was hit with an illegal hit, helmet-to-helmet contact from behind on a sack. Got taken out of this game. We'll see if we can give you an update on Twitter later on. Stowe was 4 for 5 with 27 yards through the air, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Dom Sampson was 12 for 23, 127 yards passing. The one touchdown to JoJo Spann in the first quarter, the one interception in the first quarter, and then the other interception in the third quarter to stifle the Braves' momentum in that quarter. Josh Sheridan was the leading rusher, but he did not do well in the second half. He led the team with 33 yards on 8 carries after the first half. He had 2 carries in the second half for -4 yards. Finished the day 10 carries for 21 yards. Braves finished the day overall 32 carries as a team, only 59 yards. That's an unfortunate turn. That's been basically the storyline of the season. Last week they weren't able to accomplish over 80 yards against Tusculum, and now they weren't able to accomplish 60 yards here against Newberry. Receiving-wise, E.J. Williams led the way, 4 receptions for 43 yards. JoJo Grant had 18 yards as Jalen Nixon had 16. JoJo Spann had his 140-yard touchdown reception. For Newberry, Greg Ruff led the way passing-wise, capped off with that big 40 or 56-yard pass to Keenan Lewis late in the second half. Was 6 for 7 through the air, 106 yards passing. Austin Barnes led the way on the ground, 22 carries for 105 yards. That's a new single-game high for a Newberry Wolf. The previous was last week's game against Carson Newman when Nick Jones ran for 60 yards. Barnes was a monster today. 2 touchdowns, averaging 4.8 yards per carry. Receiving-wise, only one Wolf with more than 1 reception, and that was Sean Smith. His last touchdown, or his last reception, went for 36 yards. That was his long. His first reception got him no gain. So, in all seriousness, only one receiver with 2 receptions for Newberry, but no receiver with more than 1 positive reception. Keenan Lewis with his 156-yard reception. Baps Staggers 1 18-yard reception. West Jordan, Markel Castle, Austin Barnes, Chance Walker, Catriez Cook, each with a reception as well, spanning from 0 yards all the way up to 6 yards. So nothing too serious there. It was just the 2 receptions to Sean Smith and Keenan Lewis that really killed the Braves. This game started after the kickoff. The interception thrown by Dom Sampson, which was really just a scoop out of the air on a miscommunicated shovel pass to Shaman Hicks. Picked up by Newberry, taken to the 3-yard line. 2 plays later, an Austin Barnes 1-yard touchdown run made it 7-0. Braves responded with a 40-yard touchdown pass to JoJo Spann, but the PAT from Alex Avardo bounced off the right upright and out, making it 7-6. After that, it was Newberry for the rest of the game. In the first quarter, Nick Jones, a 35-yard touchdown run. Austin Barnes, a 23-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. Third quarter was scoreless from both sides, and then Greg Ruff's 4-yard touchdown run after that 56-yard pass he had earlier to Keenan Lewis. That was an 8-play, 86-yard drive over 4.5 minutes to give us our final of 28-6. We'll take one more break. When we come back, we preview next week for the Braves and see what they can do when they continue their 3-game road trip right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Gained 213 yards.
For the final time today, back from Setzler Field in Newberry, South Carolina, Matt Sabata saying thank you for joining me. Next week, it'll be Braves and Wingate facing off in Wingate. That's October 7th, 6 p.m. kickoff. The Braves will try to turn things around. A 3-game losing streak now. They are 1-4 on the season. Again, that's 6 o'clock kickoff. I'll be on the call at Wingate October 7th, a week from today. After that, an off week. Braves will take 1 week off, and it could be useful for them before they hit the road to West Virginia to take on Concord, a noon kickoff on October 21st. The Braves, in their last 3 games, have had a turnover differential of -9 after starting the season with a +7 TO differential in their first 2 games. So that could be a point of emphasis from head coach Shane Richardson as the season progresses. Other than that, for Newberry, they will head to Lenore-Rhine next week with an 11-game South Atlantic Conference winning streak on the line, the 7th longest winning streak in conference history. And they went undefeated in the SAC last year. They won their first pair of games in the SAC this year. They have their first game in the SAC this year, rather, against Carson Newman. And they have a chance. To keep that one going. Lenore-Rhine, I've heard, fairly good team. The Braves will play them for homecoming later this year. That's going to do it for us here on the UNCP Sports Network. I'd like to thank you for tuning in for today's game. Braves fall today 28-6 to the Newberry Wolves. They'll be on the road next week against Wingate. Be sure to catch it right here on the UNCP Sports Network.